Visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-488-2594. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-488-2594. That's 800-488-2594. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. For Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader and Craig Monger in the house with me today. How you gentlemen doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful?
Wonderful. Splendid.
Splendid and wonderful. So, I've been told I was telling you all about my doctor's visit.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Tankersley's my doctor, and I think he's great. Very easy to talk to, easy to work with, and I like that he's helping me completely detox from anything having to do with COVID. That said, one thing we agreed on is Joey needs more sleep, and that's just stuff I need to do. Hey, maybe stop watching Kill Tony to 12:30 at night when he's
so good.
The Madison Square Garden show.
So
freaking
good.
Hilarious.
I've seen none of it.
And they have a thing on that called the Legends Bucket. So the Andrew Dice Clay, Jim Norton, Big J Okerson, like it was this murderer's row of comedians, and it was just fantastic. What a great, great, funny show. But you know, I got watching it, and I didn't go to sleep to 12:30 at night, so I need more sleep, and I need to be less stressed. And I'm like, but doc, my job is very stressful. Not in the sense that, oh, it's so tough to sit on your butt and talk for 3 hours. I mean, it's more the consumption.
Yeah, the crap you got to consume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the consumption of this constant thing. So I'm going to try to be a little more even-keeled today. No promises, though. We're already seeing some comments rolling in from Mark Cumby. I would call him our out-of-studio, off-scene producer.
Love Mark.
Mark is fantastic, dude. He says, what's your go-to savory meal? I mean, we could talk food all day. This is what us three do.
Dude, I just made it. I made my favorite dish earlier this week. It's my like last meal dish. It's called beef bourguignon.
Ooh.
And it is fantastic. And I make it with my mashed potatoes my way, which is you bake the potatoes instead of boiling them, so that way you can add more butter and cream. Mix it up. Add some grated Parmesan and thyme leaves. Spread it in like a baking pan, like a casserole dish almost. Egg yolk on top, brown it, and then you put Parmesan cheese on top. Put it in the broiler to brown it. Bada bing, bada boom.
That gum, man.
But
That
yeah, beef
sounds good.
bourguignon is my last meal if I ever had one.
For me, it's hard to beat. If I do savory, I would go get a aged, about a month age, I think is how long you do it, pepper trees, ribeye, bone-in ribeye, and cook that thing in either duck fat or Wagyu fat, and come up with some side, but the meat's the main star, and it's really all you need. I'm good at cooking that. It's really the only thing I know how to cook, and I like it. It's something I could do all the time. I've learned to cut back, though.
Eddie?
Yeah, mine's real simple, just a crock pot, nice roast.
Crock pot roast.
Yeah, it's something that we were raised up on. You know, there's a house of probably 11 of us in a house, so I'm used to going to church as a kid. And my mom would have a roast in the oven, and we'd come back, and all of us would feast on this roast, potatoes, carrots, rice, and gravy. Not many people like it outside our family. They find it kind of bland. But to me, like you're talking about last meal, that would be my absolute last meal.
But you said it's made in the oven or the crock pot?
She does it in the oven,
That's
but
what
because
it
I'm kind of lazier, I can throw it in the crock pot and 6 hours later eat like a king for days.
Yeah, well, that's essentially what beef bourguignon is. It's just you take a cut of beef, a roast, cut it up into squares, then you throw in like carrots and celery and onions, a lot of onions, and then you just drown it in red wine and pour it, and then you just put it in the oven for like 3.5 hours. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, as we're talking about this, Romex Angler has to chime in. Good to see you back on the stream, Romex Angler. He says consumption has been an ongoing issue for you, Joey. No kidding.
So you want to talk about food?
Yeah, let's keep talking about food. But, you know, I'm going in the right direction. You ain't going to bring me down. None of you stupid trolls calling me fat, because that's what you're doing, Romex. None of this is going to bring me down.
You fat.
Yes, he is.
Called you fit.
He might as well have just written in oink oink.
Or maybe it was PHAT, fat.
Nope.
Pretty hot and
That
tempting.
is not.
Like Lil Kim back in the day.
That's right.
That's more uncomfortable. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all.
I just know he's an everyday kind of guy.
No, but he's right. I do tend to eat my feelings.
Ooh, and wait, Crumby asked what our favorite dessert was too. So.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I actually made half of this the other day just for my wife. I've been on a cooking rampage recently.
Wow.
But except that this time the ice cream wasn't homemade. I prefer homemade ice cream that you make it with what's called a creme anglaise. It's just an English custard. And then you add honey and lemon, and then we got a bunch of wild pears, and so you blanch the pears in essentially water and lemon juice and sugar. Then you take them out, you slice them pretty thin, and you sprinkle some castor sugar on there, and you hit it with a torch to where it caramelizes on the top, and you eat those together. And then I didn't do this time, but I would also make a lemon, honey, and apple caramel and drizzle that over the ice cream to where it gets it nice and melty.
Dadgum, that does sound good. I ate a lot of ice cream this week.
I love ice cream.
Yeah.
Are you not lactose intolerant? You haven't hit that age yet?
No, ever since I got on the pro prebiotic thing, I can handle
Good
milk.
deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
As you get older, that's kind of catches up.
Well, then it's always a problem if you like just drink the milk.
Yeah.
Like I poured myself half a glass and had it with some cookies. It's more like
I used to drink straight out of the jug, gallon and a half a week.
Yeah, desserts. I've been eating a lot of ice cream lately because
Yeah.
it's hot outside. It's
Yeah.
a nice treat.
That's right.
It's wonderful.
Mark Cumby says there's no R in my last name, Craig. I think I pronounced it Crumby. Sorry, Etard.
And Romex Angler says husky ain't fat. Well, I am getting a bit husky.
Did you ever have to shop in the husky section when you were young, or
No,
that faded away?
No. That my uncle used to call my chest the front of my back, and so. And I remember Coach Tuberville kind of making fun of me one day too. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep working on that.
Yeah.
I'm no Craig Monger.
I was a really fat kid growing up, and also growing up in China, buying clothes was complicated.
Ooh, I bet it was. How did you not look like a child peasant.
I did.
Gigantica.
No, I essentially just look like I dress now, oversized, because I had to get like a little
yeah,
clothes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I do the same thing, so I don't know what
Believe it or
that's
not, I was skinny my whole life. My whole life until 12, 13 years old. I started, like I said, started drinking milk. I had a football coach tell me, put on some weight, start drinking milk. And until about 4 years ago, I drank gallon and a half milk a week.
Yeah, I was skinny most of my life until college, and that's when I got skinny fat. Who knows? You can't eat Guthrie's chicken fingers and drink every day and not stay
Says
skinny.
who?
You know, like,
The doctor?
Well, I mean, it is really convenient for me because the way I like to cook very fancy dishes, and sometimes it's expensive. So that means I'm limited to only doing it like once a week. So I can go all out for that one meal, and it doesn't affect my waistline too much.
Josh Hagan chiming in. And again, if you want to comment on the stream, you can go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube or at the Joey Clark on X, or comment on the Book of Faces. Hagan says, I wore mini Husky Bugle Boy jeans.
Bugle Boy jeans.
What are Bugle Boy jeans?
That was a brand, had to be late 80s, mid 80s. I remember having the Bugle Boy jeans. That
Bugle
and
Boy jeans.
when we went up north, 501 Blues, the button fly jeans. You were a total nerd if you didn't have button fly jeans, which was really strange because, of course, we lived in Alabama. That was not even a thing.
I'm pulling up the Bugle Boys on the stream here.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just classic.
It's like Dockers, baby.
That's classic.
It's like
But baggy.
every 70s mom with like a Pall Mall in her mouth wore those.
Right. Or Mel Gibson in the 90s.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Or Eddie Bader.
Right. No, that's the look, man.
Yeah, that was a look. Yeah.
But that's a modern day look. They have the Viper glasses. Those weren't around back then.
Right. And what are those, penny loafers or whatever they're wearing?
Some
Boat shoes,
topsiders?
maybe? Topsiders?
Oh, yeah. That's all I wore in high school. What a nerd I was.
Yeah, and there's a thread that came out today that I noticed on the Twitter X. Somebody talking about all these discontinued food items.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was things like Surge. Remember that
Yeah.
soda?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that'll diabetes. That's where you're heading right there. Others was I think Wendy's used to have a huge buffet. They were saying.
I remember a potato bar they had at one point.
It was like a baked potato bar where you could load it up with bacon and stuff. I have a vague memory of that.
I
but
don't
might
remember
just be-
that.
Yeah, and I'm pulling up the thing now. Oh, Doritos 3D discontinued in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was kind of fad.
Yeah, you remember those?
No, I don't.
They're like triangles but puffy.
And thin.
And yeah.
No, I don't. I was probably overseas when that was a thing.
The OG Dunkaroos discontinued in 2012. So I guess it's what, a cookie with icing you can dip it in?
That sounds good, but I don't remember that.
Planters Cheese with a Z, Planters Cheese Balls discontinued in 2006.
I'm almost certain I remember those.
Yeah, I remember cheese balls.
Yeah, those are, you could eat the whole 10.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Get that, little chocolate donuts, like big tins of them, big
Oh, yeah.
drums
not
of them.
together, but yes.
Oh, not at the same time. Not gross.
If you're high enough.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you'll eat anything at that point.
But the textures, the conflicting textures would be really good.
Especially with a cheese ball.
Yeah.
You know, they get stuck in your mouth.
Well, and
Sometimes
I have
fight later.
noticed that their stoner culture has taken over because now mainstream restaurants, have you seen this thing Subway's doing? Where it's like
the foot-long cookie?
or the foot long roll up dippers.
Oh, man.
So it's tortilla with like cheese rolled together that you dip in some ranch or something. I'm like, that's clearly 1 o'clock in the morning stoner food. I have nothing in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and now they're selling it at Subway along with actual sandwiches.
Oh God, I used to when I would stay up late, I always had a couple rolls of the Pillsbury Crescent rolls in the freezer, and I would essentially make chorizos with those. You'd bake them, and then you'd hit butter, sugar, and cinnamon on there, and then I dip them in. You can make a nice
sounds
icing
delicious.
pretty easily. But yeah, I used to do some work on those.
Mm.
Now I'm pulling up this thread here so y'all can see it. That's the Doritos 3D.
I do know those, the Dunkaroos.
Yeah, the Dunkaroos.
I have definitely at least had one back in the day. I remember that light blue container.
Shark Bites, I don't really remember.
Yeah, I remember Shark
just
Bites.
any fruity
Yeah,
candy.
when Justin was a kid.
Gushers were a thing.
Remember
though.
Gushers?
Do they still make Gushers?
They're good.
I had Gushers like a week ago. They're fantastic.
Check the date.
What now?
Did you get them at the flea
Dude, those
market?
things-
Have you
those
checked the
things-
date on them?
Those things will still be good after a nuclear
This is
holocaust.
very true.
There's no food in there.
Butterfinger BBs.
It's like their version.
Yeah, I
of
remember
M&Ms.
those, but
I can't remember ever eating those.
yeah, I remember. I love Butterfingers. That's why.
McDonald's snack wrap. Now I'd get down on some snack wrap.
Yeah, I remember the
I
snack
used
wrap.
to eat those all the time.
They had the Big Mac.
They're like the
snack wrap.
chicken fingers
Yep.
inside.
Fruitopia.
I've had those.
I don't remember that.
I remember we,
I
we,
remember
we
them.
used to do so much. Altoids, what?
Altoid sours.
Oh, yeah, I've had plenty of those. I used to
No.
actually like them back in the day.
Mm-mm. Oh, Squeeze-Its.
Whatever happened to Squeeze-Its?
Discontinued in
around.
2001.
Dude, I used to. I was a star. I loved Star Wars when I was
Yeah,
a
you
kid. I
broke
used
the
to break
top
the
off.
top off and I'd fly them around
Yeah,
like jets. At
I thought there was-
the 1 year I was actually in a real school in second grade. I used to do that all the time during lunch.
Well, and this is now taking me back because you can see on the ad, the bottom left corner, it's, it's for folks just listening, it's a kid smiling, and the Squeeze-Its are those like cheap plastic.
Yeah,
and
real
like,
thin plastic.
And the top is like kind of adhered on. It's
You
easy to
just pop
twist
off.
and pop off. And so it's a smiling kid holding one of the Squeeze-It drinks, and it says, "Kids will love Squeeze-Its faces, and moms will love the 10% fruit juice."
90%.
It's just
Autism, whatever created autism was in that last 90%.
What a weird, like, 10% fruit juice. What's the rest of it?
Why does it say save 0 cents? That's not exactly a coupon.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Crispy M&Ms. I remember those.
I remember those.
Those are essentially Whoppers.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah.
With the M&M inside, yeah, kind of weak.
Heinz Easy Squirt.
I remember the Heinz different colors ketchups, like the purple ketchup, green ketchup.
And I guess this is when Shrek came out because it's Shrek themed on the bottle. But Easy Squirt, I can see why they discontinued that.
I
That's
can
not
as well. The puns wouldn't.
It's not very
yeah.
appealing at all. And plus, they make bottles like that for almost every condiment now.
Yeah, they're all made in the same Chinese factory, and
Right.
yeah,
Different
so
label.
everyone has those.
Wearing the
bottles.
Husky Yogos.
I remember those. I remember those. I remember seeing commercials on Cartoon Network and then wanting them.
Pizza Hut's Bigfoot Pizza.
I do remember that.
Ooh, that's a big old pie
Bigfoot
right there.
pizza.
Square, the square pies they never cook right.
Yeah, I'm not.
The best one was Little Caesars. They had the bacon one. They had the bacon wrapped around the crust. That was the best.
McDLT.
Yeah, keep the cool side cool.
Yeah, that's what
Keep
we
the hot
found
side
a way
hot.
to keep the lettuce and tomato cool.
That's when I
and
used
the
to work
quarter
at
pound
McDonald's. I
of
remember
beef
those pain in the
hot.
butt.
Oh
Keep the
yeah,
cool side cool. Yeah.
you
Big
had
old-
to actually make those.
Yeah, big old styro container, big as a lunch tray. Really. I see why they got. rid of
What,
it.
you just keep the lettuce, tomato in the fridge, and then on the
on
other
one
side,
side, yeah, with
Yeah.
the bun, and then the other side was hot.
High C
Ecto cooler,
Ecto Cooler.
the best,
What?
the best.
I've had a High C juice box before, but I don't know if it was the Ecto
That you
Cooler.
can't find the Ecto Cooler. It's a green, delicious flavor. It's the best, but you can't find it anymore. It is the best flavor ever.
100% US RDA of
Oh, straight up chemical.
vitamin C per serving.
Straight up chemical.
100%. That means 100% of your daily value of vitamin C. That's dangerous. That's
100%
dangerous.
straight up chemical, but it's so
My
delicious.
kids ain't getting sick. They're drinking Squeeze-Its
Right.
and Ecto.
Ecto Cooler, baby.
Oh, what is Orbits?
I think I remember
No
one.
I don't remember
Yes.
Orbits.
What is that, like
Travel
tapioca or something?
It's
in there?
discontinued in 1998. It's a drink of some sort, I think.
Well, what's the giblets?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't
Is
know.
it like boba tea?
Boba, yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Boba
Is it
balls?
like tapioca?
Yeah, it might be. It might be something like that. Planters PB Crisps.
Did I?
Sweet peanut butter cream inside. So the crisp with the creamy inside.
Why
Kinda
were those ever
sounds-
discontinued?
In
Have you ever-
95.
Do you ever dip a Nutter Butter in peanut butter?
Yeah.
Just to get
Yeah.
out? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what it
Just
got.
to get the extra.
Wendy's Super Bar Buffet discontinued in 1998. Like, do y'all remember that at all? The Super Bar Buffet?
I just remember the potato part and the salad bar part.
Huh.
That's about it.
Yeah, I do not recall that at all. Topps Juice Box Bubble Gum.
I don't remember that.
And then, of course, Pizzeria's Pizza Chips. All right.
I you know what? I don't hate. Oh, wait, go back. That wasn't part of the list. That Hubba Bubba Ouch was the worst gum on planet Earth.
I remember Hubba Bubba.
It was covered in cornstarch. It was inedible.
Ugh.
But I don't mind pizza flavor.
Was it like
chips.
white when it came out of the package?
Yeah, it was
I've
like
seen
that,
it,
like
yeah.
the inside of an old latex glove at a
Yeah.
doctor's office. Ugh.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff out there. Oh, like Spicy Ranch 3D Doritos. Blue Pepsi, somebody's posting about.
Clear Pepsi.
Four
Loco.
Loco. I remember that.
Yeah, baby.
In college. Dangerous.
That stuff was so dangerous they had to outlaw it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, I'd get you in trouble. I remember I got a 24 pack of the bottle for
Four Loco, baby. Yeah, that would get you going.
Those taste like Tums without the.
Those are awful.
They taste like
Necto,
Tums.
the
and
Necco
original
wafers.
candy
you can
wafer.
still get these
Yeah,
at
I've seen 'em.
at a
Cracker
Cracker
Barrel, I
Barrel.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Surge.
Surge.
Many a field day where it's like,
that jello pudding pops.
and I remember Go-Gurts were a thing. Are they still a thing? I don't know.
Oh, that grilled stuffed burrito. That's a shame. That is a darn shame.
Anyway, folks, it's Friday, and given that my doctor says I need to be less stressed, I'm like, Doc, it's covering politics. I can't help it. So I'm trying to, get my stress levels down. But we're going to have to cover some of the politics coming up. Especially, that guy we talked about last week that spoke at the teachers' convocation for MPS.
Oh yeah, I saw that video this morning. It was
Nancy Mace and Michael Eric Dyson. Though I am the one thing that reduced my stress this week was the fact that all these conservative women are like, here are photos of us in bikinis, and so I know it's not the most sophisticated thing or profound thing, but if politics is going to be good-looking women scantily clad with rock music in the background, I'd much prefer that to whatever funnel cake dad and Kamala Harris are up to, talking about how to make white guy tacos.
He really is a fruity gentleman.
Yeah,
the more I see of him, the
Something
way
off.
he moves is
The way he carries himself.
You
the
know,
whole nine
in the
yards.
hat.
Just-
Nah, ha funny, ha queer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's definitely out there.
Yeah.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Red Top. Good Friday, gentlemen.
Hey, Red Top.
And Mr. Blonda, let me follow up on what we were discussing last Friday. We were talking about the singularity and the expansion of the universe.
Uh-huh.
And you asked me if that was the only one. That is, nobody knows, but it could very well be just one of a cycle of continuous.
Yeah, I mean,
universe.
my question was actually, is that sort of the operating? Because I haven't read up on physics in a hot minute, and last time I did, then the Hawkian theory of a singularity causing the beginning of space-time in our existing cosmos, that was the operative theory, and I honestly didn't know if string theory had come in there and muddled with the works at all.
It doesn't seem to.
Okay.
Seems to work in harmony with it, but we will have to wait at least 17 billion years to wait to see if it repeats itself.
You mean, well, by then Andromeda is going to run into us and we will be no more.
No doubt about it. And the most fascinating object to ever fly through our solar system, and it's still bizarre, is Oumuamua.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I believe so.
You need to Google it. It's from a solar system that was about 8.5 billion years old, and it looks like something that was manufactured. And this is, what was it, Joey, just a year and two and a half years ago, it passed through real close to Earth. And you know how to spell it, don't you? It's a Hawaiian, Oumuamua.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they found it at Haleakala, the university up there. That's why it sounds so Hawaiian, if memory serves me correctly. They have a great observatory there. I've heard. I want to see.
And if that don't look like a piece of a giant spacecraft, I'll eat my bass guitar, and that ain't gonna happen. So
I'm looking
you guys
it up
have
now.
a great weekend. It's hot as hell. And Joey, you don't need no more damn sleep. I don't go to sleep before 2 o'clock ever.
All right, he's
And
perfectly fine.
I'm fine. I got no damn body fat.
No body fat.
Yeah, you sound like not stressed at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at Oumuamua right now, and it looks like just a giant flying dog turd. It doesn't exactly look man-made.
Oh, it looks metallic. It looks very metallic. You're not getting a good picture. You study it. You go, that is far from a damn asteroid. It's bizarre. Anyway, guys, y'all enjoy yourself. Jerry, don't get stressed out. It ain't damn worth it.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still happening. It continues to still happen.
Yeah.
272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation.
Joshua Hagan reminded me of one, Pop Rocks.
Oh, yeah. Pop Rocks.
Were you now? I don't know, Eddie. Was this around when you were a kid? But they told me if you ate Pop Rocks and soda, you would die.
They told us that too, and
Yeah.
of course we all tried it.
Of course.
All it did is make a soda shoot out your nose.
See, it just made me burp like a
The
champ.
Mentos soda effect.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of just on a smaller level.
Then
But
Romex
we always
Angler.
heard somebody did it. We always you had an example. Yeah, so and so did, but
Romex Angler's back saying Craig and Joey missed the Stonewash
ooh,
days. Eddie.
Stonewash jeans.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember them too.
I tried to stonewash my car one time.
How'd that work out?
Didn't go well.
Did y'all ever peg your pants?
The who, the why, the what, the when, the where.
What did you just ask me?
Yep. Never mind. Before your time. Peg
No, I just heard peg. What did you just ask?
Peg your pants.
Peg
back
your
in the day.
pants.
Yes. You would take basically any kind of blue jeans and you wanted them tighter on your ankle for whatever reason. So you folded them and you gave them a.
Did you put a rubber band in the cuff or something?
You didn't have to. You just the way you.
You know what I got
folded
to say to that?
it.
Like I have white guy tacos.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Self-deprecating crap.
More I think about it.
No, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What does
like
that
black.
mean, like mayonnaise and tuna? What?
Yeah.
Get it? Because white people like mayonnaise.
Those Bugle Boy jeans, I think they were pegged already. That's how they made the ankle look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Use a different word.
I don't know what else it was called.
Cuff. Blouse.
Cuff.
Something,
It was
yeah.
cuffed?
Yeah, cuffed, right.
That doesn't. But they weren't cuffed.
They weren't. They certainly weren't pegged either.
That was the terminology at the time.
Like I have white guy tacos.
No, when I saw this, and we'll play the longer clips in a second, and it's Tim Walz and Kamala Harris sitting and talking about food and all sorts of things. And I just like, y'all are just some major dorks. You're dorks. That's the word that came to my mind. On top of many other things, but dorks, or San Diegos, as I might call them, as translated by Ron Burgundy. They're a couple of San Diegos.
A couple of morons like this. I hate that self-deprecating. Anyway, we'll get to it later.
No, here it is. Let's see the whole thing.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What does
like
that
black.
mean, like mayonnaise and tuna? What do you do?
Pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
What does that mean?
No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to expand my food knowledge.
You know, we've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Number one, growing chili peppers is not an extremely difficult feat. Number two, what the hell's wrong with cantaloupes, you snob? Don't like cantaloupes? Throw it in a melon baller and cover it with some sugar cream. Delicious.
But what's he been eating his whole life? I mean, he's an older gentleman. He's acting like he's just been introduced for food.
Well, no, I hate that. I hate this thing where people. It happens in the South too, where people are like, white people don't season their food, and it's sort of this crazy thing. Black folks, black folks and white folks in the South come in two categories: the people that season their food and the people that don't. I've had some soul food that just tasted like mush,
right?
And same with white people, country food. So it really is. It isn't a monolith. And this thing, but by the way, white people just make the best food. It's just that's universally accepted.
I don't know. Jerk chicken's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Plus mac cheese at the picnic.
Well, that's a result of colonization. I'm just going to say it. But secondly,
Yeah, Southern food is an amalgamation of a lot of different things.
But the best food in the world is universally recognized as French, and they are whiter than Band-Aids. So
And what about the Japanese?
that's different. Japanese, actually, if you'll remember, under
'Cause they're not
apartheid, Japanese were honorary whites. So, boom.
It's
my
so-
point.
It's like the whole race thing is so crude and it's stupid.
Well, and that is
and
the
arbitrary.
thing. But it is the thing because different cultures have contributed so much to different culinary arts.
Oh, yeah.
But funnily enough, Africa isn't one of them.
Yeah, I would say that I think it's fair to get off the race thing and go more into what is the culture of a certain ethnicity that's been around for centuries.
Yeah.
And the French have got it going on. The British did not for the longest time.
They do now, but that's only because they copied the British
Right.
for hundreds of years.
And apparently, everybody who's it's part of this boom in celebrity like chefs and whatnot. American food, a lot of folks used to consider bland, like the sort of meat and potatoes diet, and then the fast food stuff. And then in the last, say, 2 decades, it's really picked up to where like Montgomery's still kind of not the greatest restaurant choices, but you drive up to Auburn now, and the selection of really nice places,
Really
is-
some good options.
I think
and it's all over the country. Apparently, this has just happened. More of the culinary arts have taken hold in America.
I would love it if Alabama could score just one Michelin star restaurant. Like it would be nice. But the state doesn't really have great food options. At least our area, Montgomery is. It's okay, but there's nothing mind blowing about the food around here.
Well, I mean, when it comes to me, I
Like I have white guy tacos.
you're right.
You put mayonnaise on your
No,
That's just
like
the thought. It's
sour
just,
cream.
Just the thought of mayonnaise
But
on
like-
tortilla.
What did she say?
And
What is
like
that?
black,
Like mayonnaise and tuna? What?
Ew.
What's that?
What did she think? He said chicken salad, the dummy?
Anyway, to show the variety of our different comments, Dwayne Woodall says string theory is being threatened by the Fermilab announcement on August 10, 2023 regarding the magnetic movement of the moon not conforming to the standard model of particle physics.
You said Fermi? As in Fermi paradox?
Fermilab, yeah.
Oh, wait, okay.
It must be one research place.
Hmm.
And
well, string theory needs to be in trouble. It's
Yeah.
been an obsession of academia for the past several
And
decades.
it hasn't worked. It's a
and it just
blind
doesn't
alley.
work.
Yeah.
I think the best person that explains that better than I ever could is oh gosh, what's his name?
Eric Weinstein?
Yeah, Eric Weinstein.
Yeah.
He talks about it frequently and how Michio Kaku has sort of just ruined the field.
The problem with that stuff is there are some people that really nerd out on it, but I think there's only like you could fit the number of people that really understand the math to
Yeah.
understand it in this room.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not many people on the face of the earth that really understand that stuff.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem though, is when you have an elite academia that way, they can sort of lead the charge. Like, okay, we understand the mathematics here, you don't, but you need to follow us and do our peon work while we chase our tails. And I think it's a shame that physics has been stalled for so long, or so it seems.
272-9228 if you want to get in on me trying to be relaxed and chill today. We'll see how it goes as we continue to cover all these news stories.
Like I have white.
Oh, shut up. Shut up about your white guy.
Like I have white guy
No,
tacos.
shut up! This part of the program brought to you by Clearwater's Property Management. And there, Reed Waters and the team are ready to help you with, clearing out that property. It could be you're looking for a full-on tree removal.
Right.
Like you've seen a leaner, or you know it's an old tree that it's just not holding up. You've been seeing it swaying in the wind as storms.
Makes you nervous when the
roll
storms
through.
come in.
Yeah, they can just remove that whole tree. And it's better to do it before it falls on your house or damages your truck or something like that.
Yep.
And then, of course, they can also do tree trimming. So maybe it's just bad branches overhanging the house, or it could be limbs slapping the siding. And maybe not even big ones, but you're like, number one, I'm annoyed by the sound. Number two, that's not good for your house.
No, it's causing damage.
And then, of course, it could help with, maybe your driveway's being blocked or line of sight issues, or it's
Or maybe
ugly,
you're
too
tired
much
of
overgrowth.
Pine straw falling in your pool.
Right. Or it could be you've got an ugly stump in your front yard. You want to get
Nobody
rid of
wants
it,
that.
not only because it's an eyesore, but because it attracts termites and other nasty critters. Well, Clearwater's Property Management can do all of that for you. So call them today at 430-0376. That's 430-0376. And be sure to tell them that, you heard about them here from Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACB.
Like I have white guy tacos.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar. We're over here on that beautiful Alabama River where we cook up fresh seafood for you. We got a fryer, we got a steamer, we got a grill, so we can find you something good down here to eat. We also rent out pontoon boats. All you need is a driver's license and a credit card, and we can hook you up on a pretty day on the river. We also got an RV park down here. You can come down here and stay with us for a little while or stay a little longer. We got a room for you this week. Let's talk about good times on the river, y'all. You know it's a good time down here, and Sunday afternoons it's special. 4 o'clock this Sunday, Yates McKendry's in town. Check all that out so you'll know who Yates is, because he's a young, rising star. He's already won a Grammy. He'll be down here playing some great blues Sunday afternoon. Just like I say, check it out at capitaloysterbar.com or go to our Facebook page, see what's going on. So y'all don't forget, we got a fryer, a steamer, and a grill. We're going to cook it any way you like it. We're going to have a good time doing it. We're closed on Monday and Tuesday. Get down here Wednesday through Sunday. Showtime's 4 o'clock Sundays. See you soon.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our weekend weather forecast. The heat and humidity is certainly locked in still, but we're going to start to see a few more storms on the radar each day right on through Sunday. They will still be random, but mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, and some of them could put on quite a show with gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Otherwise, look for high temperatures in the upper 90s today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Triple-digit heat indices and lows at night in the mid-70s. And our free weather app will keep you on top of the action on where the storms are and where they're moving. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Magnolia Moonshine on Twitter is sent me some advice on how to pin roll, or as Eddie put it, peg your pants.
Heard it called pin roll, but whatever.
I mean, that's...
I'm glad she could introduce you to something they call fashion, Joey.
Magnolia Moonshine, or at Nerdy Blues, says, in the part of Alabama where I grew up, we quote-unquote pegged the outside of the pant legs rather than the inside. Hope this helps. Great show today. Well, thank you, sir.
See?
Or
There
ma'am.
you go.
Yeah.
Easily explained.
Oh, no, I see what's going on there, so you don't get all muddy on the bottom.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. It's because I saw
Well, as you're
somebody else
trekking
do it.
through the trails and you're trying to get back to the
No,
house.
it's a fashion thing.
After
It wasn't-
catching a raccoon with your bare hands.
It's a very Huck Finn look.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking of. And you hang out with your friend Jim and...
No?
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy, how you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call, guys.
Good afternoon.
Soldier Boy?
I knew you guys had plenty of things to do besides just talk to me, but I appreciate you taking my call. And, I noticed that Chameleon Kamala is put out her directions and where she wants to go with her program on finances.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to give what? How much money to first-time homeowners?
$25,000 down payment cash for first-time home buyers.
Okay, that's okay. And those houses will be in foreclosure within 6 months, right, Eddie? It reminds me of the cash for clunkers with.
Worst deal ever. Worst deal ever.
I was selling cars at that time, and let me tell you, people, you should have seen what a cluster, man. We had about 20 to 30 pages. We had to hire 2 people just to do the government paperwork with it. And a lot of people thought once they traded and got that new car, they didn't have to make payments
Right.
on it.
It's a trade, baby. It's even trade.
Oh, my dad used to tell me something. He said, son, when somebody tells you it's free, look over your shoulder because somebody's paying for it, and most likely it's you.
Yep. Ain't no thing
These
free
people
lunch.
want to get all this free. All they hear the word free, and they don't listen, and they don't hear any sounds for the next 10 minutes. They don't want to hear anything else. It's the word free is a sentence to them. Everything's free. It's got to come from somewhere, Eddie.
As long as it ain't coming from me.
Taxpayers. Oh, it's coming from the taxpayers, all right.
That's right.
Yeah, but, and also part of this price controls essentially being put on groceries.
Yeah, comrade. Yes, I like that very much. Yeah, I will destroy you.
Well, and get this, though. Walmart CEO saying prices are coming down except in one area, which is the dry food, like the grocery aisle. So, like, you're clearly going to get shortages if you start enforcing federal price controls.
So we
This
shopping
is
at the black
modern
market,
day.
buying stuff that you
Is
can't
this
get in the
anything
regular store.
different
You're
from
gonna pay a
North
premium at the
Korea
black
or
market.
Venezuela or any other communist country?
It doesn't work. Never has, never will.
God bless capitalism. I think Christ, he knew about capitalism before it was even invented.
Probably so.
I listened to a lot of these billionaires last night talking on radio and TV, on internet, and everything. You know what they said? Leave less restrictions, like Mr. Trump wants to do. Less restrictions, and let capitalism run its path.
Right.
It will even out itself. It will flatten out itself and become more stable. Who did that? Was that Jimmy Carter to try to do a price on gas?
Yeah, Nixon and Carter both.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Incredibly successful.
No, we are. It's what Peter St. Onge has been saying for months now. We're revisiting the 1970s all over again.
Right. Didn't learn our lessons.
Well, you remember what Kamala says, we're not going to go back. I guess she wants us to go back. We won't go back. We're not going back. Well, we're going back to the 70s, are we not?
Yeah.
We haven't learned our lesson. I just can't believe these people. And and this free and that free and this free and that free. And I'm like, what do you think they're going to do? Have a Ricoh copier back there and just printing money? That's how we got into trouble the first damn place with by you just give money and print it and devalues the dollar. And here comes that evil word, inflation. And recession can't be far behind, Joey.
Well, and it's what I keep saying, that I just see this, and we'll see the more details of the plan. Finally, at least they're putting out a plan. It just strikes me, though, on first blush, as crutches to suffer, to help people who are suffering from all those broken legs the same government gave you. Like, it's not actually going to solve the problem.
It's going to make things worse.
And how's that government, how is that Obama said, you can keep your doctor if you want to? That worked really well, too, didn't it? What 200-300% health insurance went up?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it didn't cost him nothing.
Exactly, but he said you could save money. I haven't saved any money.
Yep. Imagine
I
that.
could
A
keep my
Democrat
doctor.
lying
My doctor quit. He said, I ain't taking this. I'm not accepting this form of payment. I'm not going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was so much government paperwork tied into it. I like what Mr. Trump is doing. He's like he was the king. He made him so successful during his 4 years. Deregulation.
Yep. Well, we'll see what Trump and team come up with. And, of course, we got some of that Trump press conference from yesterday.
Good deal.
And I love that even the Washington Post put out an op-ed that said, hey, if you don't want people to call you communist, maybe don't suggest price controls.
Well, they're not afraid. Well, you know what? They're not ashamed and they're not scared and they're not upset when you call them a communist. They think it's a badge of pride.
Or they're like, oh, you don't understand, like, what we actually... No, because I think communism has been a shape-shifting sort of thing for a long time. Like, it's called Dingism. It's named after Ding Jinping. Or is that how it's said, Craig, I think?
Ding Jinping, what?
Ding Jinping, or like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know all of them. There's like 2 billion.
Anyway, it's the evolution of communism after 1978, which adopts a facade of capitalism. Dingism is a corporate state model of Marxism, where commerce is encouraged to be done by large vertically integrated corporations, monopolies, and cartels that have the blessing of the state, who uses them to redistribute resources and enforce the will of the state. Stakeholders inside each company, to ensure ideological compliance, shareholders are considered secondary to the interest of stakeholders. Citizens under Dingism are allowed to earn money, remain employed, and have access to services like banking, transportation, social media, as long as they present online views acceptable by the state. Their data is monitored and collected at all times. I wonder, does it sound familiar at all? It's kind of our current system.
Yeah.
Dingism, D-E-N-G-ism.
I think I had that at that Chinese restaurant last week.
Well, sounds like it. I know you're a voracious eater.
Hey, guess what Soldier Boy's going to do for fun today? He's going down to the Chantilly Theater, going to watch the new Alien movie in IMAX.
Nice.
On the Big D Theater.
Yeah.
The big one. Yeah. Have you ever been in the Big D?
Of course I've been in the Big D.
Oh, you've been to the Big D? Yeah. And some movies are really good on there, action-packed movies. But the previews look good. It scored an 82 on Rotten Tomatoes and everything. And I guess I grew up during the Alien with Sigourney Weaver, you know?
Yeah, well, I hope it's good. Lately, Ridley Scott hasn't been impressing me, but hopefully it's good. I appreciate it, man. Got to run. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
George, Charlie, I wasn't expecting to get online, live online, but I'll tell you a subject that I would love to hear y'all discuss, because this is a major thing, man. And to me personally, it's very, very important. We need to discuss how the VA is treating our veterans out here. I've been in business myself for 35 years, and I deal with a lot of veterans. And they send these letters out to the veterans telling them that they'll do a bathroom remodel for them for X amount of money. But they don't tell them what is required to get that bathroom remodeled. I was in a home this morning with a gentleman and his wife that he spent 29 years in the Army. 29. Very dedicated man. He's sitting there with an Army shirt on. He's in his, on the verge of being 80, and the qualifications to have the VA help him convert his tub over to a shower where he can even take a bath was unbelievable. This is pathetic, man. It really, truly is. We need to come to the position where we can help our veterans. They are really hurting.
Well, and I've heard horror stories, especially veterans that succumb to substance abuse, which is prevalent, and self-medicating and whatnot in the veteran community. And the amount of resources the VA has it's just non-existent. And I think the amount of just care for people, it's not there. The bureaucracy continues to just strip people of their dignity.
Well, one of the things with this was that they sent him and his wife a letter, and she was excited about it because she's having to get him in and out to bathe him and stuff like that. That is a job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they sent him another letter saying that they had to have all these requirements before they would send them or pay them a benefit to have that kind of type of work done. They should have never sent to the house like they had a check in their hand just waiting to help them when all the other stuff was required. I'm a licensed contractor myself, but the other stuff that they require, like itemized material costs, labor costs, how much percentage your contractor is going to make off the deal, pictures of the job, all this stuff. That puts a load on people. And another thing, you was talking about the medications. This gentleman had a Ziploc bag sitting on his dining room table that was full of dozens of medications. And he said he didn't take them. He said because all they do is put him out. Yeah, this is pathetic, man. I mean, I know you got a very, very close relationship with your grandfather.
Yes, sir.
And he's probably a veteran.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I run into these guys all the time that they say we don't deal with the VA because the way they treat us when we go out there and all this stuff. It's bad, man. I mean, it is just bad.
Yeah, I think not to give all the details, but he never has to deal with the VA. He doesn't.
No. Well, let me tell you what. We've done a job for General Hal Moore in Auburn. At the time I went to visit with General Moore, he was 90 years old. His son, Bob, wanted us to go in there and redo his bathroom because his dad still lived in his original home. He had a caretaker and all like that. I'm sitting there at the dining room table, and I turn and look at General Moore. He never calls me Charlie. He calls me Thornton, because that's an Army thing, that's a military thing. And he's, we're talking. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. General Moore sitting there eating his breakfast, and Bob had already told me. He said, "Now, when you talk to us, Charlie, talk toward my dad. He demands respect." I said, "I can handle that." I just casually my mind, I looked at him, I said, General, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a question, sir. He said, yeah, you go right ahead. And I said, redoing your bathroom, do you want to take this through the VA? He laid his fork down on the plate, and as God is my witness, he looked at me, and this is what he said. He said, Thornton, I got one thing to say about the VA. They can go straight to hell. That's what he said, man.
Yeah.
But I see it all the time, Joey, and these people are hurting. They are really hurting, and they have served our country, and it just pisses me off.
Yeah.
My dad was in the Second World War, and he was with Easy Company. You know, they made those films about Easy Company.
Oh, yeah.
And he was with that, you know, that company of God. And my dad got his feet froze over in Austria and got frostbite and all like that. But Daddy never went to the VA because he went one time when he got out, and they wanted to lock him up in the place, and he said, I ain't doing this. So he just got, you know, he just went to his primary doctor, my mom and him, and he took, she took him to them. But this is a shame. I mean, this topic needs to be brought up.
Yeah, well, and yesterday J.D. Vance was doing a whole conversation about it, I believe.
Yeah.
But I got to run, Charlie. I appreciate the call, though. Good call. Good point.
Thank you, bud.
2729228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, excuse me, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with that roof of yours.
Yep.
As I watched some Fox business reporter eat rattlesnake on a stick in Des Moines, Iowa.
That's not that good.
No, it doesn't sound good.
I'm real bony. It's not really good.
But they're at River Region Contracting. They really can't help with that roof. Whether it's an asphalt or a metal roof, you should have it inspected on a regular basis.
Definitely.
And Eddie and I have been suggesting why not do it every year?
I would, especially here in Alabama with all the extreme weathers that we have, from the extreme heat to the extreme rain.
And especially when you use River Region Contracting, because their inspections are always free.
Free, Joey.
And then if they do find a problem, what that estimate is?
Free, and it's also been accurate every time I've used it.
All right.
Every single time.
And they show up on time?
Very professional.
The job is, and they like to educate you as they're doing the job.
Right.
It's not like, oh, they just do it and they go away. We're not, no, they like to teach their customers, here's what we did. And of course, they're also insurance specialists. So if they do find a problem with your roof, your insurance might cover, they can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. So give Todd and the team a call today, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. We got time for one more call here. You're on there. Who's this?
Simpler Days.
Hey, Simpler Days.
Well, you're talking about Southern food. I like the little pickled peaches on vanilla ice cream with some Cool Whip and cinnamon powder on there.
That sounds pretty good.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But the Democrats are denying me that because I went to the store yesterday to get my pickled peaches, and for a 32-ounce jar, it was $9.98.
Wow. Damn.
So wow. I had to sit my pickled peaches down and deny myself, but I'm looking forward to more of the same. And then I went to get my hair cut today, Joey. It's and I'm not going to call their name out because I don't want to give them free advertising, but when she rang me up, it was $26 with no tip.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll get a haircut once every 3 months now.
Yeah, just let it grow long like a hippie.
Get the Flowbee. Hook it right up to your vac.
There you go. Let it meet in the middle.
Yeah, it's like, man, I used to arrest the hippies. Now I look like one.
There you go. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate it, Simpler Days. Yeah, we do have to hit this top of the hour break. And upcoming, there's one clip of a guy that's been going viral. Turns out he's a black man. And he said, I'm not a Trump guy, but I decided I keep hearing the folks are like, the media sucks. Like, don't believe them. So I'm going to watch the press conference just with my own eyes and ears.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to see how the media reacts. And then he reports back, and that's the video that goes viral.
Oh,
and he doesn't get lost in the details. I think he makes a fantastic point that I think everybody in this room and many out there listening already know. But more and more Americans need to get wise to this corrupt managerial elite, this corporate machine that is fake and not looking out for your interest.
Oh, not at all.
At all, as much as they might claim to the contrary. So we'll hit the top of our break. Be back with that and other stories after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott in Qatar. Gaza ceasefire talks have ended and will resume next week in Cairo. Progress is being reported. Military authorities in the eastern Ukrainian city of Pokrovsk urging civilians to speed up their evacuation because the Russian army is quickly closing in on what has been one of Moscow's key targets for months now. In consumer news, Ford recalling approximately 85,000 Explorer Police Interceptor utility vehicles because the engines may fail prematurely and possibly result in a fire. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the recall for vehicles with model years 2020 to 2022 and have 3.3L hybrid or gas engines. The Dow is adding 111 points, the NASDAQ up 70. This is SRN News.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans would be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke? Or if 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation? Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make. And they're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued prosperity.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our weekend weather forecast. The heat and humidity is certainly locked in still. But we're going to start to see a few more storms on the radar each day right on through Sunday. They will still be random, but mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, and some of them could put on quite a show with gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Otherwise, look for high temperatures in the upper 90s today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Triple-digit heat indices and lows at night in the mid-70s. And our free weather app will keep you on top of the action on where the storms are and where they're moving. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Have you heard the news? Capital Tractor will soon be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. With lots of Kubota inventory, we're going to sell it instead of move it. Our big moving sale is a great time to get a great deal on a Kubota at Capital Tractor in Montgomery.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A federal jury has found a Montgomery man guilty of distributing fentanyl that resulted in a death. 37-year-old Lawrence Coley sold pills that were made to look like oxycodone, but instead contained fentanyl. Coley was convicted Thursday and now faces a sentence of 20 years to life in federal prison. Non-residents in Alabama will no longer be allowed to register to vote in any of the state's 67 counties. The decision came after Secretary of State Wes Allen found over 3,000 voters registered with a federal non-citizen identification number. Those voter registrations have since been deactivated. The Alabama Supreme Court has authorized the nitrogen hypoxia execution of Carrie Dale Grayson, who was convicted in the 1994 kidnapping and murder of a female hitchhiker. This would be the state's third nitrogen hypoxia execution. To date, Alabama is the only state in the nation to use this method of execution. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
I'm Wes Allen, Secretary of State.
In Alabama, election integrity is a top priority. We must ensure fair, secure, and transparent elections. To vote in Alabama, state law requires voters to present a valid form of photo identification. For a complete list of acceptable identification, or to learn more about acquiring a free photo voter ID, visit alabamavotes.gov.
This message is presented by Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen.
Hi, this is Don Duncan with Don Duncan's All-American Automotive and Tire. Just want to say a big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting. They've been a big partner in our success. And again, thank you guys so much for all you've done for us. If you need anything, come see us. Again, this is Don Duncan with All-American Auto and Tire.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
You probably know lots of people you trust to mow your lawn or wash your car. But when it comes to electrical work, you're picky. And you should be. See, electricity is complicated and potentially dangerous. The sad truth is, each year there are thousands of home fires caused by faulty wiring. Crosby Electric has been serving the River region for almost 50 years. Their technicians are held to the highest standards of the profession. To wear the Crosby Electric uniform, you have to undergo background checks, rigorous drug testing, continuous education, and safety training. The technicians at Crosby are specialists. They don't do plumbing. They don't fix air conditioners. They simply provide superior electric service in a safe and timely manner. Don't take chances. When you need electrical work, or if you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us online at crosbyelectric.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. He's Eddie. Craig had to step out for a second, but he will be back, I believe.
I believe you're right.
And where we left off is this guy's not a Trump supporter.
Right.
Or at least that's what he claims. Maybe you could be like, he's lying.
People do that?
Yeah, you could be like, he's lying, and he's Uncle Ruckus.
Oh, boy.
And like, they're going to be like, no, actually just sounds like a reasonable, level-headed, independent thinking guy.
Well, he'll be called out.
Because I'm learning that level-headed folks that sort of are willing to drop their prior ideological commitments and sort of just look at the lay of the land, like act like you're not an American for a second. Just live in that space if you can even visualize an apple in your mind.
Pretty tough.
So I know some of you can't, and I'm a little jealous, honestly. That must be nice. But imagine you're not an American and just look at America and how it operates. Like you're an alien visiting, and I think people on the right, the left, moderates, radicals, like all different types of people are starting to see the same thing when it comes to the corporate media. They've been seeing that same thing now ever since Trump came around. I know there used to be the days of Papa Bear O'Reilly having Bernie Goldberg on, and they would talk about the mainstream liberal media.
Yep.
And I think their critique has gone a little deeper than that. That it's not just, the liberals, the right, the left. No, it's like, it's these corporatists, or you want to call them like commies, go ahead. Whatever
Socialist.
term you use.
Socialist for sure.
One of the key aspects of this system that controls and runs this country is clearly the corporate press.
Yeah.
So let's listen into this guy because he lays out, I think it's Tony Talks is his handle, at Tony_Talks on the TikTok. Let's listen into this gentleman here.
What's up, y'all? So I said, let me just get on here real quick because I want to tell you about something.
I watched this press conference that Donald Trump did today, and I deliberately stayed for the entire thing. I said, let me listen to the whole thing. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, I thought it was actually a very good press conference for him. And it was contrary to what the presentation is that we typically see of a Donald Trump presser or rally. Like, he was like, I'd say like 90% of it was just like really on point. Like, I don't agree with everything the man says at all, but I can say that he spoke directly to the issues, especially the issues that I care about as not only a black man, but just as a person living in America in this horrible economy, the horrible state that we are in right now. And, you know, what it was kind of different because it was like he was very like welcoming. He was reserved. He dealt directly with the questions that were asked of him, and he was even like welcoming like to the press. And so I was like, damn. When he was done, I remember saying to myself, I wonder how the media is gonna paint this presser. And like clockwork, immediately, like the blog sites like Baller Alert, World Star, The Shade Room, and all of like legacy media, they started putting out the hit pieces, boy. They started painting the rally as it's some hate-filled, incoherent psychobabble. And, you know, if you're a person that cares anything about objectivity and just critical thinking, I think we should all be able to agree that we have to dig deeper for ourselves and do our own research in order to find out exactly what's going on. Because as it is right now, we can't trust the media, and we're being spoon-fed our opinions, not only by legacy media, but sadly by the professional managerial class. We have a lot of popular black folks out there who are getting on social media and on the news media, and they're trying to shame you into falling in line. And that's not something I agree with. Now, you can vote for whoever you want to vote for, Democrat, Republican. At the end of the day, I understand that as black people, we're not a monolith, and I would never judge anyone or shame them for what they decide to do with their vote.
I'm sorry, sir, because you're about to be really shamed and judged for the thing you're saying, but keep going.
But before you make these decisions on these candidates, you have a responsibility to dig deeper and find out all you need to know about their policy. Don't allow people to trigger you using emotion. Pull emotion out of this. Look at policy. Look at your life. Then decide, are you okay with your life this way? Do you want to continue with your life that way? Look at the policies that they're presenting to you. Hey, does that policy align with the way that I think, with my belief? And it's actually that simple. But don't allow people to interrupt your own natural thought processes by trying to gaslight you and trying to shame you and insult you and make you feel like lesser than for daring to decide for yourself.
I mean, I feel like this is what I and many others have been saying for a long time. He's saying it in a very calm and cool, collected way. But that was my sense of the Trump presser yesterday, that I found, honestly, his opening remarks boring. Maybe it's because I see this every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the back and forth with the press was just fine. Just fine indeed. Like, even fine and dandy. I'll throw that out there.
Wow.
So Trump did one thing, and it was kind of the one that became the viral clip that the media wanted to run with, where he said, okay, goodbye, everybody. And he started to walk away, and then it's like a false finish, like a band. It's like, good night. Oh, yeah. And then they have the encore. So he took one more encore question. And of course, it gave the clip people wanted. But I saw this and I go, I like this. I think he's right. Maybe it doesn't need to come out of his own mouth, but I'm so tired of, we're the party of joy. We're the party that's nice. We're the party that's compassionate. I'm like, you literally framed him for treason.
Yep.
Using the powers of the national security state. He was almost killed after y'all called him almost everything under the sun and continue to lie about what he actually believes. You're trying to put him in prison. None of that is nice or joyful. And often a lot of these policies that are suggested, they act like it's this, We're just a community having a conversation about what's best for everyone. It's like, no. You do not get to speak to us in that tone of voice, in this smarmy, mealy-mouthed way. I don't care how much you like your white guy tacos. Beef and cheese. What's wrong with beef and cheese, man? Put some damn spice on it, you stupid. I've been calling him mayonnaise face. It's about accurate. But here's Trump laying out, they shout at him. What about the personal attacks? Why are you going to still go call her dumb?
Mr. President, many of your allies who want you to win in November say your current strategy isn't working, that you need to stop with the personal attacks on Kamala Harris and deliver a more disciplined message. Do you agree? And also, you added more people to your campaign today.
Yeah.
Is that a sign of a shifting strategy?
No, I think it's a sign of we want to close it out. We have great people. Susie is fantastic, as you know, and Chris is fantastic. They're leading it. Corey Lewandowski's coming in. He'll be, personal envoy, or he'll be at some level. They're going to be, they're doing a great job. Look, we've taken, with all of the abuse we've taken from the fake news media, all of this horrific abuse we take, and all I want to do is make the country good. All I want to do is have strong borders and good education. We want to have choice for education. So important, so many different things. You would think it would be the other way. We rebuilt the military. We did so many great things. But that's the way it's been for Republicans, and I guess more so for me than anybody in history, and that's okay, because we're leading in the polls. For the most part, we're leading in the polls. We were leading Biden by a lot. We're leading now, but I think when she's exposed, I think we're going to beat her by a lot more than we would have beaten Biden by, because he had a little group of people that have been voting for him for a long time. She doesn't have that. People don't know who she is. As far as the personal attacks, because of what she's done to the country. I'm very angry at her that she'd weaponized the justice system against me and other people. Very angry at her. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite. And she called JD and I weird. He's not weird. He was a great student at Yale. He went to Ohio State, graduated in 2 years, at the top of his class, and all of these different things. And we have this guy that's running a very failed state, who's had a terrible career.
So there you have a little taste of what Trump was throwing down. Is it like the most impressive thing? Oh, shut up. You harpies.
The thing is, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're going to keep lying. They're going to keep manipulating. And the mindless drones who unfortunately have the same vote as everyone else will just simply gobble it up. We still to this freaking day hear them talk about what he called Nazis at Charlottesville, very fine people.
Right.
It's just, to this day, what is this, 7 years later? Something like that? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just the nature of the system. I think there are, though, the hope is more and more people are breaking out of that mindset. And maybe they're just finding new talking points to parrot, whatever.
Is this just the calm Joey who's trying to...
Yes, I'm trying not to have an aneurysm on the air today. Here's some more Trump.
Which largely it is, which is ridiculous. We should have one-day voting, paper ballots. We should have voter ID, and we should have proof of citizenship, because people are voting and people are going on now without citizenship. But we should do it, and maybe we'll be able to get that done too. It's one of the things I want to do. But my message to them would be very simple: vote for Trump, and we're going to fix the problem. We're going to get it fixed. We'll get it fixed.
Follow-up question, if I could. Kamala's been promising on day one, I'll do this. And for basically 4 years, she's promised this day one.
Yeah.
What will you do on day one to turn this country around?
So she is saying when she gets in, she's in now. And especially with Biden, because, I mean, he's not in the best of shape. But you know what? She's in there now. She can do anything she wants.
Right.
And she's still saying, if you elect me, I'll do this, I'll do... Why didn't she do it? Here's my one question. It's the easiest question. Because she complains about everything. Why didn't she do it? That's all I ask.
No, and honestly, seeing Trump yesterday, you could watch the full Q&A. I look forward to the debate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's actually have the debate and have more than one. But of course, again, to your point about they'll lie about even the smallest thing. Trump's chicken to debate me. He literally wants to debate you 3 different times.
Right.
And the only one you've agreed to, your best friend who set you up with Doug.
Told you to marry Doug.
Who apparently is a big Depeche Mode fan. Take that for whatever it's worth. What, he also got Erasure on that playlist? It's actually not bad. Chains of Love's a pretty good song.
Break chains of, yeah.
But no, her best friend who set Kamala up with Doug Inhofe is literally like the vice president of ABC.
Correct.
Hosting the debate. That's the only place they'll debate. It's just a big club and you ain't in it. Again, I'm trying to be even keel here, Craig. So, we'll see where it goes. But it's just, they will lie about everything. Everything under the sun. But ABC has now revealed new details for the debate on September the 10th. Okay, never mind.
Is Trump allowed to talk? His mic will be cut the whole time?
Yeah, I would like to be able to pull it up, but Epic Times is a piece of crap. Like, how many times do I have to sign in?
Is it Epic Times or Epoch Times?
I don't
That's
care
still a
anymore.
debate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Joey, who's Frappa?
Yeah, no, I'm not even.
Do we have to go the chemical route to make sure that you're calm up until November?
Maybe.
If
We might need-
Tankersley, if you're listening in, take out that prescription pad.
Right.
Get this young lad calmed down.
Yeah, it's just, it drives me nuts how much they will lie about everything.
It's like most people have a bowl of cereal for breakfast. Joey's gonna have just a big bowl of Xanax with some booze on top.
Yeah. No, it's going to be something like that.
Get them soggy.
Yeah. Good and soggy.
Yeah.
Because it's the lies on top of lies, the dishonesty, the nastiness,
and the blatancy of it. Like, it's just so clear, and you just see so many people fall for it, and it can really just crush your hope in humanity. As a species, it feels like we're doomed sometimes.
Now, are we actually doomed? No. See, I am a big old cynic, especially when it comes to politics. I look at our institutions, and when people say, well, people don't trust the institutions anymore, I'm like, yeah, because they're not trustworthy.
Yeah, look at him.
Because y'all suck. And yet, everybody doesn't want their sacred cow slain. Like, they don't want, well, I agree, the system I work for is crap, but I got to pay the mortgage, man. I got kids. And it's like, okay. You and everybody else, I guess, though less and less these days. But a spokesperson have finally found this, thanks Epic or Epoch Times or whatever the heck your name is, some weird Chinese backing or Indian backing, I don't know. It's amazing where we get our information these days. A spokesperson for ABC News told the Epic Times in an emailed statement that the Trump-Harris debate will take place in Philly at the National Constitution Center on September the 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Daylight's Time or whatever it is. David Muir, the anchor of World News Tonight, and Lindsay Davis, I don't know if she sounds that way, and ABC News anchor and correspondent will serve as moderators. They'll be available all over the place. So is that it? That's the only details?
Guess so.
Guess so, man.
But Harris Wall's campaign spokesman, Michael Tyler, said in an August 15th statement that the debate about debates is over, and that Harris will debate Trump at the September 10th event on ABC. But, no more than that. This statement was made after vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance agreed to an October 1st debate in New York City on CBS against Tim Walz. Like Trump, Vance also pushed for more debates against his rival. The American people deserve as many debates as possible, which is why President Trump has challenged Kamala to 3 of them already. Not only do I accept the CBS debate on October 1st, I accept the CNN debate on September 18th as well. But I have a feeling the folks that were calling the other side chicken don't actually want to do multiple debates
Guaranteed.
in multiple settings.
They'll
and
do one
venues.
apiece, fail miserably, and that'll be the last time we see them.
Well, it is interesting though that the VP picks for both these campaigns are the more intelligent of the two. So yeah, I'm more excited about that than the presidential one because I mean Walz, even though he's a bit fruity and his policies suck. He's not a dummy. He's not an unintelligent person. Same with, and J.D. Vance is obviously incredibly intelligent, and yet they're the number twos. Like, Trump is great with the rhetoric, and he obviously gets things done in office, but he's not, he's not a J.D. Vance level of intellect, and obviously Kamala Harris is.
Yeah, but you got to have a pretty face out there.
Yeah, who's the pretty face? I don't remember the last pretty face in politics other than Joey's girlfriend over there.
That's about the last one.
Yeah.
What, Anna Paulina Luna?
Yeah.
I wish she was
She got
my
more
girlfriend.
bathing suit pics coming out, by the way.
Oh, they keep, like,
I keep seeing more and more drop.
They've existed for a long time. She was on Maxim
Somebody
magazine.
get a hold. Yeah, well, somebody get a hold of her folder and just start letting them drop. Because I've seen like
Yeah,
four
the Democrats
since
started
yesterday.
pushing it, and then in response, a bunch of conservative women were posting bikini pics. Apparently, Lauren Boebert has this huge like stomach tattoo.
Yeah, she's got a
I don't
tat. She's
I don't
got a
mind
tribal
tats
looking
really,
thing.
but that one it was like
Tiger stripes, Bubba.
yeah.
You like older women? They got tiger stripes.
What?
You don't like older women with tiger stripes? I thought you did.
No.
You sure?
You
Are you sure?
look at Craig's face. Look at what you're making him go through right now.
Because he knows what I'm talking about, and he's having to watch you lie. It's painful.
I honestly don't know what Joey's into. I just know that he likes Anna Paulina Luna.
Yeah, I think she's
Pretty
very.
much
Older chick with tiger stripes.
Well, and not only is she good looking, she's like is good. Like she wants to figure out what's happening with the aliens, and she's feisty. I kind of like where she's been. Also, she's more in the camp of Matt Gaetz and the rowdy bunch up there in the Congress that actually want liberty and to disrupt the system. So I appreciate.
She wants
reference that
like what kind of aliens? Like the Take Me to Your Leader or the Donde está la biblioteca kind?
Take Me to Your Leader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her and Gates were leading the charge and trying to get more information out about the UFOs or UAPs, whatever they're calling them today. She also was leading the charge in trying to hold Merrick Garland in inherent contempt. Like,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
been pretty high profile for somebody who's new.
Garland could literally murder someone in Washington,
kidding,
D.C. in front of a news camera and they wouldn't charge him with anything.
But of
Unreal.
course, our news, including Nancy Mace, who's like, well, I'll wear a bikini too. Nancy Mace went on with the guy who spoke to all the teachers here at Montgomery Public Schools, Michael Eric Dyson. And this is a good example of like why I kind of want the nukes to fly, because it's just so stupid. But it's where we are as a country. Let's try to listen in without me, dying.
Michael.
That sounds like self-hatred and justification of white supremacy. And let me just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
Oh, so now you're calling me a racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a
BS.
racist.
That is complete
No, you don't have
BS.
to intend racism to
No. You
accomplish
are
it.
intending that I
Your
am
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala
and
Harris
that is
part and
offensive.
parcel of a
And
tradition
wait,
of disrespect.
It's offensive,
Congresswoman,
and it's
why can't you
it's
just?
offensive.
I'm
and
not
it's
calling you a
disgusting.
racist.
No,
I'm telling
you are.
you what the
You are.
practice is
You
racist.
are. You absolutely
Why
are.
can't you just disrespect here? No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor.
This gentleman said,
You know what?
I didn't know her name.
Disgusting
He's
to
trying
women
to do
is
it.
her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
White
I
women don't
became-
have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is to tell them they're not real women.
25
They
years
care
ago,
for your babies
25
and
years ago,
respected
I
your
became
humanity.
the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I
So call her
fought my
name
way
right.
through it.
So
tooth
pronounce
and
her
nail,
name
blood,
right.
sweat,
Let
and
me
tears.
actually pronounce her name
and
right.
Kamala Harris, if I
Kamala.
were a man,
Kamala.
You said
I
this
will
before.
say
Nancy
anything that
Nancy.
I want.
It's
Come on,
Kamala.
it's
You're
Kamala.
doing this
You
on
can't
purpose,
I am
That's
Congresswoman.
disrespectful.
You can't expect people to
If
respect
a
your
man
service
put on
if
a
you don't
skirt
respect
and walked
hers.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would
disrespecting
have
a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from
problematic.
women.
Professor
That's
Dyson,
disgusting.
let me get in here
because I
want
to
play
one
more
bit from Ellie's.
That is problematic. That is racist.
So stupid.
I have a thank God for the internet, because I have a legitimate feeling that there's going to be a montage pretty soon on Twitter of people pronouncing it Kamala.
yeah.
I've heard it both. Like,
I've heard it
really,
both ways
it's
for years.
racist to emphasize the wrong syllable all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
Yeah, well, it's racist as it suits our political purposes.
It's like, but like you can. That's a difference you can make without even thinking about it. Kamala, like, huh? This is really that. This is how desperate the race baiters are in this country.
Yep.
That we have to choose a syllable to be indicative of the racist character of this country.
Well, it's all just, again, it's all just so stupid.
It's so stupid.
It's all so stupid now.
And that's Dr. Inward, according to himself. He has a doctorate.
Yeah.
And that is the extent of your interlocution, you vapid dum-dum. I wanted to say the R word, but you dumped me out. So
yeah, it's just it's where we're at. I mean, I wouldn't have played that, but I think it is representative of a lot of say the activist chattering classes. And
they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about being honest. They don't care about being thoughtful. They don't care about being genuine.
No.
They just want to say something to get their mongoloid base all riled up and frothed up and angry. Yeah, he said Kamala. Like there's absolutely no substance behind it, and it's gonna get worse up till November. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, I have a feeling it is going to get worse.
That's how they motivate a base.
So about that Xanax, Dr. Tankersley, I know.
No, I haven't even taken anything today.
We probably all should every day until November, and then depending on who wins, a lot after that.
This part of the program brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical, and they're at All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. They can help you with, of course, that HVAC system, and especially the AC right now.
Oh, yeah.
In these dog days of summer. Dadgum, it's thick out there. That's the word for it. And if your AC craps out in the middle of this, that's what you're going to be saying. It's not only hot. Your house, the air in your house will be thick, and not in a good way.
Hot and stale.
Yeah, it's not something you want to live through. So why not have All Pro come out and just do a checkup?
Right.
Or it could be, it's about a 15-year-old unit. It's making sounds. You might need to upgrade it. Might need something new. They, of course, can help you in that regard. And they can also do checkups on your electrical system. But they can especially install a Generac generator.
Right.
Which not only is great if a storm rolls through or there's a major power outage and you're relying on keeping the power on, whether it's, the refrigerator stocked up with food, or maybe you're relying on medical devices or you need it for work
from home.
But Eddie was telling me the other day that Generac generator, once you have that fully installed in your house, that ups the value of your home by about 5%.
About 5%. Yep.
It's pretty
and
impressive.
honestly, when I'm showing buyers a home and there's a Generac generator, they all get their eyes lit up a little
So
bit.
it's not only something with a great utility, like in function, it's something that's an investment.
Exactly it is. And you get your money back, no doubt.
So check out All Pro today. You can always go to allproheatingair.com. That's allproheatingair.com, or call them at 301-1961. That's 301-1961. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. I'm going to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our weekend weather forecast. The heat and humidity is certainly locked in still, but we're going to start to see a few more storms on the radar each day right on through Sunday. They will still be random, but mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, and some of them could put on quite a show with gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Otherwise, look for high temperatures in the upper 90s today, tomorrow, and Sunday, triple-digit heat indices, and lows at night in the mid-70s. And our free weather app will keep you on top of the action on where the storms are and where they're moving. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. You know, Kamala Harris is giving a speech as we speak on how they're going to lower the cost of living. So how about I just want to give a speech of my own, something that's pre-written here, written a little while back. But, you know, as their food and gas bills continue to balloon almost as much as their waistlines and the national debt, I wonder if most Americans also realize that the inflationary crime committed against them by the Washington elite is probably the most expensive and vast heist ever pulled off in human history. The prevailing policy these days seems to consist of robbing the American people blind today so they may hopefully see themselves in the world saved tomorrow. Yet, funny enough, tomorrow never seems to come into view. What follows instead is an endless series of todays, marked by one crisis after another, to be perpetually pillaged from a safer, happier, and equitable future that is almost on the horizon but never quite arrives. So who does this benefit? Why do they do this? You know, when Milton Friedman quipped inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon, he was only partially correct. Man is much more than Homo economicus. He's also zoon politikon. He's a political animal, as Aristotle would say. And so, too, does inflation have a political element. Inflation forever walks hand in hand with the false promissory notes of centralized political control. Indeed, the U.S. federal government has so inflated itself with so many grandiose goals that it now uses inflationary measures as a matter of course to blithely steal from the people, all while calling it a service, expanding the money supply while ever more expanding the government's power and privilege. Just as inflationary bad money drives out good sound money, a badly inflated sense of national politics drives out good local institutions and sound civic traditions. Not only has the dollar lost its value over the last century, so too has local politics. Yet listening to our global ruling elite, especially right now in the midst of an election, now food companies seeing highest profits, says Kamala Harris, we really got to build the middle class. Oh, did your billion-dollar donors tell you to say that? To look folksy? You harpy! But this is all part of the plan, say these elite. In fairness, the fraud here may not even be conscious. The elite, especially like Walz and Harris, do seem to earnestly think the only way the world can progress into the future is if Americans are coerced into following some central global plan. From climate change to pandemics to Ukrainian independence to the war on poverty itself, we're told sacrifices must continue to be made by the American people so that the experts may illuminate the way forward, even if there's no clear path anywhere in sight. Call me cynical about politics if you wish, but I suspect such noble goals are merely a Trojan horse for more and more centralized control. Aspiring omnipotent governments love to present their solutions to real and imaginary problems as selfless gifts from on high to the hapless people below. However, once these gifts are inside the city gates, witting and unwitting saboteurs always proceed to set fire to the people's liberty, desecrate the people's traditions, and saddle households and families under the conforming pressures of regulations, mandates, taxes, quotas, subsidies, penalties, and the like. Oh, there's Harrison. I fought hard for consumers as a prosecutor. What good did your fighting do? You fake-ass puppet! How's that for disrespect? Kamala is a fake ass puppet. She will say whatever who has ever got their hand shoved up her backside tells her to say. This Leviathan that she wants to be the face of now breaks your leg, hands you a crutch, and then claims you could never walk in the first place. This Goliath picks your pocket, gives you a pittance back, and then claims the money was never yours to begin with. It was all of ours. And that you should be grateful for this gigantic generosity. This colossus that insidiously goes on to use the reality of its imposition to teach you, but especially your children, to equate its own control with the very concepts of community cooperation and even the family itself. Slowly but surely unmooring the people from those local and informal bonds that would otherwise keep them free and independent of power. And all this is done until the people only know how to say, we are the government. The government is us. If the American elite honestly consider themselves champion of the American people's well-being and prosperity, they would be wise to remember that the democracy we often hailed, that was hailed, say, at the beginning by somebody like Tocqueville, was local, voluntary, and infused with the spirit of religion, held together by faith and hope in the villagers to manage their own affairs on their own terms rather than submit to a central plan. So if most Americans truly wish to address the issue of inflation, they must begin by training their eyes to see that their money isn't the only thing that has been inflated away by Washington, D.C. The inflationary crime committed by Washingtonians is much bigger than most Americans ever wish to imagine. A crime committed on so large a scale that its size is its only protection against another 1776. They don't want to get rid of the cronies. They don't want to actually help you. They want to put you to sleep, anesthetize you. Like, I'll take the cost of healthcare down. Oh, by guaranteeing certain bottom lines to all your big corporate donors? As health outcomes in this nation continue to go into the crapper, educational outcomes continue to go into the crapper, 77% of the money stolen from you, from the income you actually earned, goes to just pay off interest on the national debt. We kept talking about it for years. You're stealing from Americans in the future to pay for what you're doing today. We're in the future. And so they'll make all these promises. They'll offer you a crutch and a Band-Aid and act like they're your champions. And they'll appeal to your identity. I guess birds of a feather all flock to vagina, right? That's the big headline. Apparently it's now female voters because, let them have it. No different than men. You're just as corrupted by it. So I tried to be cool and calm and collected today, but I'm so tired of fake-ass puppets. And lie on top of lie. Tired of it. And yet it won't go away. So maybe I should one day. But not today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Elevate your home with the timeless elegance of Cabinet Renovations, LLC. For over 40 years, Eddie Basham has been Montgomery's trusted name in kitchen and bathroom cabinet makeovers. From classic designs to modern updates, they craft beautiful cabinets and countertops to fit your style. And with up to 18 months interest-free financing, it's easier than ever to get started. Contact them today at 334-279-7152 or visit CabinetRenovationsLLC.com. Cabinet Renovations LLC, where your home's new look begins.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measure.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon can help you with all the latest in the mortgage market. I mean, they're going to be the ones on the front lines having to deal with all the federal stuff that'll change or go down. It's happening all the time. They're always changing the different little rules and schemes and stuff, especially at the VA.
Yes.
But the beauty of working with Kim and Madeline is they actually know the latest. They're certified, literally, when it comes to VA home loan programs or any sort of loan program that you might need. So whether you're looking to buy, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, go with Alabama Home Mortgage.
Right.
Or you're looking to refinance. A refi deal is right around the corner. And both for buying home purchases and refi deals, their turnaround rates there at Alabama Home Mortgage, I don't think anybody can beat them. They're really just fast at what they do. Quick, efficient, and there's no surprises on, say, closing day when you're trying to get that deal finally finished. So you can always go online, apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com, or give them a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. There is a difference in mortgage companies, like Kim and Madeline proved that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Oh, she's still talking. Okay. He's going to keep talking. Trump's going to keep talking. We're just going to keep talking. It'll work out. It'll be fine. How about this? Let's have somebody else talk. Hey, let's have some person who talks good.
The man wears this. His ass will look good.
I need those pants.
Now, apparently, here's Mark Robinson running for governor in North Carolina that he gives a good speech or something. Let's listen in together.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And as always, we give thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving us our life and our health and our strength. Let me repeat that again to those who it drives crazy. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because he is the reason why we live in a blessed and prosperous land, and every morning when we wake up, we give him thanks, and we give him thanks right now. Folks, I don't have to stand here and tell you what we're up against. You know, I had a conversation with a young lady the other day who told me, she says, you know, I'm voting for you because I like you. But then she said, I'm also voting for Kamala Harris. And I explained to her about a simple word, and that word is this: policy. You see, she thought President Trump is brash and a braggadocio, and I said, hey, hold on a second. We're talking about a man who is willing to sacrifice everything for the nation that he loves. But I told her this, I said, I want you to look at the results that he got in 2016. I said, look at that $1.45 a gallon gas. Look at those full grocery shelves with low prices. Look at the fact that our enemy stood down and cowered when he was in office. By the time I finished that conversation, I had changed her mind because she understood that it is the policies that this man supports, that I support, that they should be voted for. The economy under Donald Trump was firing on all cylinders. This nation was energy independent. And this nation wanted for nothing. Now under Joe Biden, we see the country suffering. We see gas prices at an all-time high, grocery prices at an all-time high, inflation through the roof. We're suffering because of bad policy. We need to get the good times back. And how do we get the good times back? We re-elect President Donald Trump to fix this economy, fix this border, and fix this nation and make this nation great again. But folks, it does not stop there. North Carolina has had a great comeback story. From being deeply in debt to the federal government to now having a $5 billion surplus and being the #1 business destination 2 years running and now being the #2 business destination. Here it is. We need someone in this state that is going to stand up for everybody in this state, that's going to stand up for the working people in this state, and build an economy that spans from Murphy to Manio, where everybody has a decent shake at making a great living and a great future. And we have got to stop the weaponization of our government. It is dangerous. My wife and I have felt the sting of it. My wife ran a successful business for almost 10 years. And it wasn't until some folks inside of that business who don't like me found out who I was. And then the games began. The harassment began. And now we find out that my opponent's wife is deeply embedded into the very agency that holds sway over my wife's business. You see what we see here with the weaponization of government? It does not jive with being able to have a good economy. Why? Because people should be able to work and earn a living and run a business without fear of reprisal from their own government. It's bad at the state level for me and you, and it is bad at the federal level when we see it done against someone like President Trump. Folks, we have got to stand up as Republicans and understand that the principles that we put inside of our policies yield a desired result that is good for every man, woman, and child in this nation and in this state. That's why for the next 90 days, we have got to work like the Dickens, talk like the Dickens, get out and beat on doors, and go out and tell the good news that the Republican Party is the party that will make North Carolina great again, make America great again, and lead us back to a place of prosperity. Let's get out there and win, and let's have a red wave in November, because we want to save this nation and take it back to its greatness. God bless you. God bless North Carolina, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
I got a feeling that guy is going to end up governor of the great state of North Carolina.
I believe so.
Yeah, I remember when he first went viral. It was just some random city council meeting. And yeah, if you can put on a speech like that, you'll go far in this nation. Or if you can kind of read a teleprompter, you'll go far too. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's not about quality when it comes to
No,
politics.
it's not.
It's all about consensus.
But look at just the smiling, grinning drones behind her. It's just, you'd almost feel sad if you weren't simultaneously wishing that a meteor would strike that meeting area currently.
No, if the meteor strikes, I want it to hit here. Right here.
I'm in here. I like my life. I'm not grumpy today, Joseph.
I've been
Somebody got the
grumpy
required
all
amount of
week.
sleep.
Yeah. Not really, actually. My little girl
You just learned how to deal.
My little girl had a fever, and so she's been up and down all night.
Yep.
Involves a lot of duty.
But you're a man, and you've dealt with it.
Yeah. Well, my wife dealt with it. I slumbered. I mean, I woke. I was risen briefly, and then I just shoot her off the bed and be like, "Go take care of that," because I'm sure that's your child. And my
right.
paternity is still under discussion.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yeah, good. That's good to hear. I'm personally.
I didn't know how I was during.
Yeah. Oh man, but I maybe football season will make me personally happier. I
This
don't
is
know.
the month, baby.
Like watch big old TVs with great football and that surround sound, and enjoy watching young athletes compete. I think, and you've got products there, Cohen's, that can really bring that experience alive, right?
Yes, sir, we do. We have all the way up to 98 inches of flat panel. I just got back from our buying group show, and a couple of the manufacturers are going to have something out. They think by the end of the year it may be up to 114 or 115 inches.
Daggone.
Yeah, so it keeps growing, and the new ones like that are going to be over 100 inches are going to be more of a module type unit. So you kind of have to put it together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, that'll be cool.
But I'd imagine folks are like, I can't fit that in my Camry. But you've got folks that can deliver and set up all those systems, right?
That's exactly right. And as I tell everybody, everything that we sell, my customer gets a way better experience if we get to do the installation. Because then, Michael Jackson can come in, he can get everything in, he can get it level, he can get the wires in the wall, he can get it programmed to operate as third grade level as possible. No sense in buying a really nice entertainment system and then it becomes a job to operate. Right. We want to try to streamline everything to make everything as simple as possible.
And having worked with some of those folks myself, being a customer there at Cohen's, they really do great work. Easy to work with and get the job done right. And folks, you can always shop from home for what we've been talking about here, or maybe you're looking on the appliance side, just go to thinkcohens.com. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael himself, one of the great team members. Say, hey, I heard you, Michael, on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Fantastic. Y'all come see us.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Well, we got one more hour left.
Oh, she's done talking. Yay.
Thank God.
Well, she made some promises, which very general, like new homeowners are going to get $25,000.
Yeah. Well, it's just the most.
Where's that coming
What
from?
is that when you're in that business?
That's why it caught my attention and just, I don't see how they'll promise tax cuts and things like that, but it's.
Here's a quote. When I am
guys.
elected president, I'll make it a top priority. Doug turned down the Depeche Mode to bring down costs.
They're already claiming that this DOJ deal with realtors lowered costs, and it hasn't. And she's bragging about it was actually increased costs. And there's going to be lawsuits that come out of that from consumers. No surprise there either. And she keeps claiming several times during her speech that Trump is just going to input basically Project 2025. That's his game plan. And she did. She verbatim put that in there 2 or 3 times that will be his plan.
And then another quote, I will go into greater detail in the weeks to come.
Right.
Okay.
It's a shame you haven't had time to prepare,
Exactly.
Right.
That's the thing. If instead of bragging about these things, go do it now.
Yeah.
That old man that's pretending to be the president, he doesn't care anymore.
Is he gonna stop you?
Right. If you have any power, go do it now. Which you don't.
She also said prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than before the pandemic. Ground beef, don't tell funnel cake dad Tim Walz, ground beef is up almost 50%. And then she proceeds to blame this on corporate greed.
Not the energy costs.
Yeah. Or
those
not,
things don't walk to the market.
Not also like producing trillions of dollars out of thin air
Right.
and then spending it and pushing it into the economy. And the way we'll solve that, if you can't afford childcare or a house, is we'll give you more money because that'll bring down prices.
Yeah, you'll take more of my money.
But it shows the elitism and how stupid they are, because they honestly thought, it's been years, I can't remember what those stimulus checks were. It was like $1,200 at first, and then like $700, and that was after like 6 months of lockdown. It's like that's how much they think that it costs to live.
That's how dumb they think people are.
Yeah.
And we the people accepted the checks. What do you do?
I mean, you didn't even have a choice. They deposited it straight into my bank account. They didn't ask me.
Yeah. The last one I got was like $600, and it was total insult.
Yeah.
And then you get taxed for it. So,
yep.
Yeah, Americans don't yet feel the progress in their daily lives, except, everybody and your brother in the media has been saying, well, no, the economy's great.
They also said Joe Biden was great, and she did too, by the way.
No, she called him extraordinary yesterday.
Why? Because he didn't poop his pants while he was standing there for 15 seconds?
Well, that's impressive for somebody who's incontinent.
I just noticed that he's back to the same size he was before the COVID. I don't know if COVID makes you suddenly get taller, but suddenly he was back to his normal size.
I feel like the U.S. should use more body doubles. I really think. I think that should be
kinda
a more
think they
common
do.
thing.
Yeah, I
that
really
would be
do
good.
kind of think they do.
But if that's the policy speech,
yeah,
yeah,
but like
man,
Craig
we're
said,
dealing with a paper thin movie set again. A fake ass puppet. The fappening, I guess, is back.
You saw
Just in a different way.
You saw the seals behind him just steadily clapping. She could have said anything. Right. Ridiculous.
Speaking of body doubles, though, did you take my recommendation and watch the one about Uday Hussein's body double? Did you see it?
I watched part of that, Craig. It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
It does sound. Well,
I'm gonna have to
wait,
go
like
back
one of
to it,
Saddam's sons?
Yeah, his worst son.
They are the worst people to have ever
Evil.
walked Earth.
Evil
Yeah.
people.
Ever to have walked Earth.
Oh yeah, Saddam he was bad, really bad.
Yeah.
Well,
funnily enough, he doesn't get mentioned in the conversation of like the worst 20th century
I don't see how.
leaders.
I don't see how he doesn't.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously he was into the 21st. He was still around, but he did most of his worst stuff in the 20th century. But still,
yeah, but because he was kind of our buddy.
yeah, he was our buddy. Yeah, except for the first Gulf War, where it was like, hey, you stay out of
Stop being
Right. Go on now. Get out of here.
Funnily enough, Hitler still gets the #1 spot of worst dictators in the 20th century.
And Stalin and Mao give him a run.
Oh,
for
they
his
give him a
money.
good run for the money.
But see, that's the funny thing he's saying. Stalin killed more people. Mao killed more people.
Oh, a lot more people than Mao did.
Yeah, Mao killed a bunch. And I had to drive past a giant statue of that SOB like several times a week as a kid, and he's just standing there. And funnily enough, he's Sig Heiling.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I mean, it's not really. It's less direct, but it's
Yeah.
more like this.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're
I'll show
talking
you the picture of the
Yeah.
statue in my city. It's bizarre. They venerate that man. They don't know their own history there. Well, then again, history is written by the victors, and that's why every
Right.
American thinks that we were the good guy in every war.
Yeah. Every time.
How about this?
Yes.
I think #1, before we hit the break, we need to revisit 1812 and take Canada. I think
Canada.
and the UK. We need to reconquer
America's
the
top hat.
Anglosphere because these other countries have gotten way too namby-pamby for their own good.
I agree.
And then after we take a breath after doing that, invading the rest of the English-speaking world, maybe we'll throw in parts of India too. We'll come back and do the rest of the show. I'm not in a good place today. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Biden was optimistic about the prospects for a ceasefire and hostage release deal between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. He spoke from the Oval Office after 2 days of talks wrapped up in Doha with an agreement to continue negotiations next week. The World Health Organization has declared the ongoing outbreaks of Mpox in Congo and elsewhere in Africa to be a global emergency, requiring urgent action to curb the virus's transmission. Sweden has since announced it had found the first case of a new form of Mpox previously only seen in Africa, while other European health authorities are warning of more imported cases were likely Mpox, also known as monkeypox. On Wall Street, stocks are higher, the Dow up 107 points. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our weekend weather forecast. The heat and humidity is certainly locked in still. But we're going to start to see a few more storms on the radar each day right on through Sunday. They will still be random, but mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, and some of them could put on quite a show with gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Otherwise, look for high temperatures in the upper 90s today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Triple-digit heat indices and lows at night in the mid-70s. And our free weather app will keep you on top of the action on where the storms are and where they're moving. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
More controversy is arising over library books. This time it's at the Dothan Public Library. Residents and parents have been expressing ongoing concerns over the presence of sexually explicit materials within the children and teen section. Residents now say the library board members and the library director for the Dothan-Houston County Library System are working to silence and ignore the concerns of the parents and taxpayers. The concerns come after a board meeting was held this week. Parents and organization leaders now say that the library board is not taking any time to implement the recommendations coming from Governor Ivey regarding the accommodation of parental rights and concerns. 1819 News reporter Josh Bontrager has written more on this situation at 1819news.com. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Schaefer with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
A Montgomery man is convicted of distributing illegal drugs that caused another person to die. 37-year-old Lawrence Coley was found guilty by a federal jury for the fentanyl overdose of a man in 2022. U.S. Attorney Jonathan Ross says the victim's blood had 5 times the lethal amount of fentanyl in it. Coley was supplying the drugs to that victim for over a year. His prison sentence will be issued in the coming months. 2 more Wawa stores are having grand openings this month in Alabama. The Wawas are located in Mobile and Robertsdale. They will open their doors for business on August 29th. A Wawa in Fairhope has already opened up just a few months ago. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm Joey, that's Eddie. That's Craig. Eddie's what, in the white, and Craig, what is that shirt you're wearing today?
Oh, that's G.K. Chesterton.
Oh, Chesterton.
G.K. Chesterton. My favorite, second favorite 20th century writer. No, fourth favorite.
Fourth favorite.
20th century writer. Yeah, there was a lot of good writers in the 20th century. What can you say?
Yeah, there were. Yeah, I have to admit it, there were. Hey, let's go to Sweet D. Hey, D, how you doing?
Joey, can I do a Randall today? Can you put me on hold and come back? I'm right in the middle of something.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. Appreciate it, D.
For you, anything.
Let's go to Mr. Pink. Hey, Mr. Pink, how you doing?
All right. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
Good.
I'm ready to shut off the news for the weekend. Stupid.
I understand, man. I had an argument with my best friend of 30 years yesterday about politics. I've been voting for 20 years, and this is his first time voting. But and he's going to be voting for Trump, by the way, also.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the conversation, I just had to give him a hug, and we just started talking, and we was like, yeah, don't none of this matter, man. You know, we hugged it out.
Yeah.
Because when we get together, we have these conversations like guys do. Like, we'll even argue the negative, like I do. You know, I'll be like, this is what other people think. And he's like, why are you thinking like that? Like, this is what other people think, you know? But, guys, don't get too down, man. I had a quote. I heard you guys talking about lying, and it hit me just like that. It's a quote. It says, when enough people make false promises, words stop meaning anything, then there are no more answers, only better and better lies.
Yep.
You know where that came from?
Game of Thrones. Jon Snow said it.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Correct.
Good call, Craig.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of the new one. I watched the first episode, The Dragons.
The first season was all right. I binged the second season recently in a day, and that was a long day.
I haven't watched it. I've stopped. I don't watch stuff like that. I watched Game of Thrones before I became a good Christian boy, and now I don't watch things with excessive boobies.
Oh, man, I've been thinking about becoming a Catholic, man. I don't know if Joey told you. Been thinking about switching up.
Mm-hmm.
Switching up from what?
I don't know, Baptist, whatever everybody else is. The other thousand,
There is a historic Christianity that is free from the heresy of the Roman Catholic Church. So just letting you know, there is a world elsewhere.
So
he's
he's
talking like the Ethiopian church.
No, like an Ethiopian Coptic. Yeah, that'll be. No.
You mean Greek Orthodox, Craig?
No.
Guys, you know what's my favorite?
Oh, go ahead.
No, listen, go ahead.
No, I just, in all sincerity, there is a really big move because of the castrated nature of American Christianity. There is a big move to go back to, like you, there is a big resurgence in Eastern Orthodoxy and Roman Catholicism because people they crave a sort of ancient attachment to history and virtue that comes from the church. But you would be pleased to know that there is a very vibrant and booming Protestant side of that is very dedicated to the Church Fathers, very dedicated to Scripture mainly, and that's where we break from the Roman Catholic Church. So I would recommend you don't have to go the Roman Catholic route in order to be attached to the historic church. That's all. That's the only point I was making. Not trying to get into a debate on anything you just said tonight. Yeah, got to do my bona fides. I am wearing a Roman Catholic on my shirt right now, though, so I understand the irony.
No, I just want to be held accountable. You know, if I sin, I shouldn't be able to have the bread and the wine. I shouldn't be able to sit at the table. You know? Need some accountability. That's it.
Yeah, what he was saying yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, the week's blurring together, Mr. Pink, is that and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're tired of folks that go, well, if I just accept Jesus into my heart like I say it, I can do whatever I want. Yeah. And it's like, I don't think that's how it works, and I don't think that you're actually accepting if that's what your takeaway is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And
that's what gets put out. You know, that's what people say. They don't go through, you know, like we're not having like school. You know, it's like people say, hey, you just say you accept Jesus and you're good to go. You know.
Oh yeah, that is a serious problem, and that's what I talked about. It being castrated. It's Christianity without testes, and that's what built with the Western civilization was Christianity with a spine. But the historic Protestant churches, the ones that hold to the historic confessions, the 1689 London Baptist Confession of Faith, the Westminster Confession of Faith, those people, they do something called church discipline. And in fact, I first joined a Reformed church because they had church discipline and I was a drunk and I needed accountability. So
Sure.
I understand the impulse. And that was, funnily enough, that was my selling point to my wife was I said, listen, they have church discipline. I can't get sober. So if I don't get my act together, then they'll, go through the process of church discipline, which does sometimes include refusing the table. But you're right. That whole easy believism of accept Jesus into your heart and you'll be saved kind of thing without any preaching of holiness, without a changed heart, is completely separate from anything that the Bible has to say.
In the same way with Roman Catholicism, if you go to reconciliation or confession and you're just going through the motions, the church itself teaches, well, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I was going back with that, like the first bishop. And, like I said, I've been doing my homework, and that's what I was thinking about. That was where I was coming from.
The first bishop? Is that a book?
No, the first bishop, before that was a pope. It was like a bishop.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Roman Catholic Church teaches that Peter was the first pope. So you can't be a Catholic if you think there was anything before the first pope.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me take it back. I was thinking about just Christianity I was talking about Alexander the Great and how from that point to now, it's been, it's the history. So
Hellenism went away, and then, the great place to start with Paul. Start there.
Paul is great because Paul was one of the more educated disciples, and he had a great understanding of the Greek corpus and the Hellenistic writings, and he references them frequently.
And the cool thing is there's so much available online now. People who of different denominations and traditions talking to one another. I think that's one of the more hopeful developments in our age is this resurgence of at least folks are taking this stuff seriously and talking about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed. Well, guys, never forget who you are. The rest of the world will not. Who said that?
That was Tyrion Lannister.
Yes, sir. Episode 1, season 1.
Yep.
Thank you, fellas.
Appreciate it, Mr. Pink.
See you, bud.
Yeah, that quote, the rest of the world. Tyrion Lannister has one of my favorite quotes in the show, and I use it frequently because I like odd people, and you and I are the same. And he has a line in there that says, "I have a soft spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things."
Right. Let's try Sweet D again. Hey, D.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. So, have you noticed that Kamala looks about 10 years older already?
Dude, Sweet D, I said that in the break, last break. I said that exact same thing.
You were talking about her neck?
Yeah, her neck looks like it aged way more.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe she's not getting her Botox or something since she's on the road, but she looks a mess already.
Yeah.
I
I think the demon that like latches on to the backs of all of these people in power, I think it just sinks claws and just slowly sucks the life force out of them.
Yeah, look at Mitch McConnell's neck.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing.
It is.
Looks like a Shar-Pei scrotum.
Please stop.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
You're accurate.
I
but
am now,
I don't want to think of that anymore. These fake ass puppets.
But anyway, Eddie, you was like, where are they going to get the money from for the $25,000?
$25,000. Well, all houses just went up $25,000.
Eddie.
Much like they
the
did.
Black farmers just got $2 billion.
Oh.
And it wasn't slated to be. They weren't supposed to make those determinations until February of 2025. They dropped the money July 29th.
Mm.
People that weren't even farmers got money.
Got money. Wow. Yeah, but they did this with electric
People that were
cars.
12 years old during this lawsuit got money.
Wow.
And you know where most of them, and down in this area, they got funneled through this law office in Selma. I'm not going to say the name because I know you already know who it is. But you know who it is, right?
I think I do, but I don't want to guess and be right.
Okay, well, I was going to say something about government, but I'm going to leave it like that. Anyway, yeah, but they going to pull that money. But all the black farmers I know, they got money. They still said they're not voting for them, so they just wasted that money.
I do hope the patronage, like bribery system, backfires.
Well, union members have come out left and right on saying they're voting for Trump, and even the union has come out and said this is one of the times where our members.
Thanks for the payoff, but you're still a fake ass puppet, right?
And then some actual farmers didn't even get money. But kids that were 2 years old during this lawsuit time got money.
But does that settle it? So we're done with that? We can't ever be haunted with that memory again? Or in 25
we
years
were
they're going to
done
come
with
back?
it the last.
Yeah.
This is the third one.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
The first one was the last one. The second one was the last one, and now this is the last one.
That's what I mean.
So.
Like I said earlier, it's just a
sometimes, know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's just a perpetual present. We're just living it's Groundhog Day every day.
Right.
And she was the one that said the white farmers could definitely not get a penny. Only black farmers. So y'all can suck it.
That was really a cherry on top of that comment.
We love you, Sweet D.
Yes.
Okay, Joe, I'm going to drop you off a Lunesta for the weekend, okay?
A what?
Lunesta, so you get some sleep.
Oh, okay. No, I appreciate it.
She'll
Thank-
sleep for 2 days.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye ya.
272-9228. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is John. How you doing?
Good, John. How you doing, man?
Good, good. Just wanted to bring up a couple of things that you brought up just a minute ago. I'm a minister and have preached and all that kind of stuff. And here's something that bugs me about what people in the South and other places too say. A phrase that they use with regard to becoming a Christian and becoming saved, they'll say, "I've accepted Christ."
Yep.
And that's always bugged me because I think Christ accepts us once we become repentant and once we understand who he is, how sinful we are. It's more of an acceptance of him of us, not the other way around. I mean, it's almost arrogant to say, in my mind, yeah, Jesus, I think you're good enough for me.
Yeah.
Right.
That bugs me.
Right there with
To
you.
no
homie.
end.
Right there with you.
And it doesn't give any sense of responsibility whatsoever when you look at it like that. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right. The first the command of the proclamation of John the Baptist before Christ showed up was repent and believe. The proclamation of Christ was repent and believe. The proclamation of the apostles was repent and believe. Flash forward 2,000 years later, and it's accept Jesus into your heart. It's like it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all.
No, it's not. It's not, and it bothers me. And I hope that we can, at some point, get away from that. And having a kid, I've seen this in meetings before. Have a kid raise a hand that they accepted Christ into their heart, and they're saved from now through eternity because they made that proclamation and there isn't any change at all. And that's wrong with regard to the kids. That's a misrepresentation of the scriptures and everything. That isn't a theme that's ever in the Bible anywhere.
Well, and it's the
Cover to
same.
cover.
It's the same reason I hate something like Pascal's Wager.
Yeah.
Like it's so dishonest.
Although I think he was being ironic when he said it.
Maybe
but
he
yeah.
was, but like the way folks have used it
Yeah.
through the years, it's like, well, if you're wrong and God does really exist, so you might as well make that bet. And I'm like, that's not. You're kind of missing the point. If God is God, then that is a very bad way to go about it.
Yeah, and just to go back to what John was saying, like, yeah, there is. You shouldn't. There is a big problem with the pendulum on the other side of people that sort of agree with John and I, where we tend to try to discourage children. It's like they'll say, "Oh, I believe in Jesus." Like, really? Can you define the hypostatic union? What name the Bible? Can you tell me what the Council of Nicaea said? It's like, well, no, we don't need to do that, but we also need
Doesn't
to
have to be
realize.
trivia,
Well, the whole purpose of the whole point of the gospel and what the Spirit does is it takes out a heart of stone and gives you a heart of flesh. That's how the Bible describes it. Being born again, it is a radical change to your existence and to where you hate what you loved and loved what you hated. And that is a change that is required, and it takes development. But there are literally people in Baptist churches, in your standard run-of-the-mill Southern Baptist church, who will go to church on Sunday because it's just what they do. They'll sing the songs and do whatever, go off, do any number of things absolutely condemned by Scripture, and they come back and they're just like, God is love.
Well, and also this is like history. You can read about the history of, say, church in the South, and it's long been more of a social club.
Oh yeah.
And you get this from, like, say, especially Puritans or others who came down, and they were very frustrated with how the culture worked down here. And, it depends. I think it ends up being your particular church, your actual family that you're growing with, and then it comes down to your own choices at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I don't get too hung up on the trivia or what the words people say, but it is about the deeper actual orientation.
It is, but when they say, so Christ, what do you do to become a Christian? They'll say, well, ask Christ to come into your heart. I'll eat every Bible you put in front of me if it's in there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Good call, John.
Yeah, good call. I smell food, by the way. Is there anyone else?
No,
who
I
smells
smell
food?
it too. When
Okay.
I think you start looking around.
I think DJ Fresh
Yeah,
brought some.
made me lift my nose there like a dog. Ooh, I smell
Confound
that
you,
too.
DJ Fresh.
Yeah, he likes going to Jason's Deli, getting some of the
That's the good stuff.
and
dude.
then sometimes he brings wings or pizza, man. Oh,
I haven't had pizza in a minute. I would tear one up right now. Oof.
I ate a whole medium pizza this week by myself. It was easy.
Yeah,
I could have eaten a whole large.
It's 8 slices.
Yeah, I could have done the large, and it was the New York style, so it was a little thinner.
Thin? Yeah.
But
We make homemade pizza at home with my wife's sourdough, and it's super thin, and we do it in a cast iron pan.
Oh, nice and crispy.
Oh, real crispy.
Man,
crunch.
that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed something about me today where I'm like, seriously, last night I was watching that first show of Kill Tony at Madison Square Garden, and it just made me laugh with glee. It made me so happy. Just great comedy. And it live, it's sort of a high wire act at the same
big time.
And especially in a big crowd like that, and they just nailed it. I look forward to watching probably this weekend the second show they did at Madison Square Garden. I love talking about food. It really is a hopeful aspect. It's mostly what I watch. If I'm not watching some stupid escapism, I'm watching these conversations around faith and morals and where the world is going along with the technology. And I actually think these are the two things causing the tension. My point is I love all this stuff, and there's so many amazing things going on in the world. I just got a text that October the 5th, my niece Lucy is going to be baptized. So, and the whole family's going up. I'll be riding up with my dad, but everybody on both sides of the family is going to be up there together in South Carolina. And so all this is wonderful. And I just know as soon as I look at the political news, all I feel is just rage. And it's not even like, oh, Kamala's a liar and Trump's so amazing. It's more like what we're required to do these days in order to win power.
Yeah.
And it just eats away. So thank God there are other things in life. Thank God there's more than fake ass puppets.
What is best in life, Joey? I said, what is best in life?
No, I don't even. I know. You're trying to get me to do a Conan the Barbarian reference. Nuh-uh.
I actually watched the movie for the first time last, a couple days ago.
And did you not enjoy it?
I hated it.
Really?
I hated it.
Dude.
There's no storyline.
No, it's Conan the Barbarian.
It was weird. The dubbing is awful. The dubbing is atrocious.
You know how many different languages that movie has been in? I mean, by the way.
Fair enough. I mean, Arnold looked great. He looked jacked.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
That's Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Jim, how you doing?
Hey, man. Yeah, this must be Freaky Friday because, man, y'all are all over the board.
All over the place.
Yeah, I got something I was thinking about. I was sitting here watching the golf tournament here, the FedEx, and you look back on things you decisions you made in your life. Like selling your Bitcoin years ago when you should have kept it. You know what I'm talking about, Joe?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I moved to Memphis in the mid '70s to go to seminary up there, and I was going to a church, a Broadway Baptist church up there, and I was looking for some work, and there was one of the deacons there at the church. He said he was a manager at this fledgling company that had just opened up in Memphis called Federal Express Corporation, and he said, "You looking for some work?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I got, he was telling me about his company. They just moved at the airport. I was living right by the airport, and they had a fleet of these little jets, and they were flying packages all over the place. And for some reason, I wasn't interested in it. I said, well, no, I'm just looking back now. I said, man, just think if I had gone to work for them and got in on the bottom floor of that company, good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Little did I know what was going to happen after that. But
Yeah, you never know. It's not good to hold the regret, but it is fun sometimes to do the what if game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you got to look at the whole picture there. So I'm not disappointed what's happened because
there you go.
I had a good life and I got a bunch of grandkids and everything's fine. I'm retired and I get to listen to talk radio and goof off and not do anything and that kind of stuff. But I did listen to Kamala here for a few minutes. I was almost persuaded to vote for her, and then I got up and threw up, and I felt better after that. This thing today is just the beginning of her downfall because that was the biggest bunch of crap. Anybody that would fall for that stuff that she's talking about, she has no clue about economics.
Not a clue.
Zero. And I can't wait till they get into a debate because he's going to take her through the ringer.
Yep.
I mean, just unbelievable. But anyway, no, I enjoying your show today. You had some good stuff going on.
Appreciate it, Jim.
Good
Really
deal.
do. Good
Thank
to hear
you, Jim.
from you, man.
See you, Jim.
All right, y'all have a good weekend.
You too, bro.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Joey,
Yes.
I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to prescribe maybe some psychedelics this weekend. There's a pretty good bunch down at Farmer Copeland's Bull Pass. You got to be careful when you pick them, but now they'll do the trick. If not, they'll DMT, get to a higher plane, connect with God, and you'll come back in feeling better Monday. It'll work. It'll work.
Do you believe in the machine elves?
Well, since fentanyl's killing people, I ain't suggesting that. It's something that God grew, and
Right.
Craig, you missed infant baptism. You were talking about Baptists going and coming back and sitting on the way out of church,
Mm-hmm.
but you missed infant baptism.
What about infant baptism?
That's not in the Bible.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I mean, even though I attend a Presbyterian church, I break with my Presbyterian brethren on that topic. So yeah, I thoroughly agree. Although I will say that the infant baptism of Protestants is infinitely different than the infant baptism of Roman Catholics. They believe one absolves you of the stain of original sin, and then of course you have absolution after that through confession. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to throw infant baptism in that discussion in general, because there are purely faithful and solid Reformed Orthodox people that practice infant baptism. Although I wouldn't throw the Roman Catholics in that category.
Christen them, dedicate them to the Lord, and teach them in the way they should go, and they'll make their own decision for immersion later, which I know you Presbyterians don't really do immersions, but it could be argued. But not to get into semantics, but when that verse said, how did it read? When my people who call by my name will repent and turn from their wicked ways, I'll heal the land. Who's he talking to?
The people of Israel.
The church.
Well, that was in the Old Covenant, so that would be kind of an anachronism. But I know what you mean.
So I think we need to work on the church in ways that you just said, something that we can all come together and agree on, instead of disagreeing. The Baptists don't like the Methodists, and the Methodists are, the Church of Christ. They're going to be in behind that one door. You can't disturb them because they're the only ones in heaven. So, and I have Church of Christ buddies, and I've got took a good friend of mine fishing here 2 or 3 years back. He was an atheist, agnostic atheist. We hit a thunderstorm 60 miles north of Dauphin Island. Seas went to about 12 foot all of a sudden. He came back headed for the seminary. So what does that tell you?
Sounds like something right out of the Bible. I appreciate it, man.
He went from talking about psychedelics to talking about the Bible.
Yeah, I don't think it
God made it. I'm like, I don't think God made DMT, homie.
Yeah, and the question about the machine elves is I've never done DMT.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. But the folks say they have. Some of them say they come back and they talk about what some are now calling machine elves, like beings.
Yeah.
And it's not everybody sees them when they do those DMT trips.
You have to get there. I've heard almost everyone I've talked to that actually gets there. They talk about meaning a figure of some sort, or either that or communicating with shapes.
Or sometimes it's like multiple figures that
Yeah.
are guiding you or making fun of you,
Mhm.
or like, and it the way it's described is it doesn't seem like something you're just producing out of your own mind. It seems like, no, this is something very real outside of me.
I tend to agree that it is real.
Yeah.
I tend to, just with not with just my own experiences, but
Well, it gets into we brought up Anna Paulina Luna and the search for the aliens and
Yeah.
whatnot. I do like Tucker Carlson's theory.
Yeah.
That what we're seeing here are possibly spiritual beings.
Oh yeah, that's been around. Theologians have posited that for quite some time. But yeah, there's actually a show called Haunted Cosmos. It's a podcast I highly recommend.
Haunted Cosmos.
It is right up your alley. They talk about the aliens from a Christian perspective, but they also talk about psychedelic drugs. And there's another show called Cultish that they do as well, and they talk about the psychedelic drugs as being a means of communicating with less than benevolent spiritual
It's
beings.
pretty compelling when you look at the descriptions of angels in Scripture. And somebody actually renders it out and shows it to you.
Have you seen those? They're
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's like, okay, the closest thing to that is something like psychedelic.
100%.
And it's fascinating. I don't know.
Like I said, I never got there when I did DMT. I just felt like I took about 20 tabs of acid for 30 minutes. But so it was a good time, but I kind of, regret, even though I don't know what would have happened, I wish I would understand that phenomenon a little bit more, but I am kind of thankful that I never did.
272-9228. We talk about it all here on the program, folks.
Food, theology, and drugs.
And Joey's neurosis. 272-9228. Hit this quick break.
All right.
Well, before we do, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and the team are ready to help you with any and all pest control problems. Could be a specific job you need
Could
done,
be.
like pronto, like maybe a fire ant outbreak. Or it could be they found a huge cockroach infestation.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Or you're talking about a lot of these army worms tearing up people's yards.
Yep. I think the armyworm season is here. I don't know how long it lasts, but I've seen some posts on her stuff. She treated like over 100 yards in a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it really does mess up a yard, right?
In a hurry. Apparently, in a matter of minutes, you can tell you've got them. In a matter of hours, you start seeing damage.
And your plants, too. They'll get your plants.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so Pest Pro can help you with that. Of course, treating mosquitoes, termites, they do it all. Or if you're just looking for an everyday pest control company that other folks trust, that have earned the trust of the community, that's Pest Pro Services. They're not only true pros, true professionals and skilled at what they do, they're local folks giving back to the local community.
right.
So check them out today. You can always call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey folks, thank you for making CTE Outdoor Power a preferred dealer and Hustler one of the most popular riding mowers. Recently, I met a couple from Evergreen who discovered us because friends recommended both CTE and Hustler. They heard our team of friendly, helpful professionals would guide them to the Hustler model that's the best fit for them, and that because we support all the products we sell, we take the hassle out of future needed parts and service. They liked Hustler because of the highest quality and warranty, and that we partner with Hustler to offer 0% interest financing. Now, if you haven't discovered Hustler and CTE yet, now is the perfect time because this month, when you mention this ad, we'll pay the sales tax when you purchase any new riding mower. Folks, can you get all that anywhere else? CTE Outdoor Power, I-85 at Perry Hill Road and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If you'd like the chance to win a new 2024 Ford Bronco, you'll want to visit Wind Creek, Wetumpka. Play and earn entries every day. Then be there Saturday, August 31st, starting at 5 p.m. to see if you drive off in the Bronco or win a share of thousands in cash. Do what you want. Bring home a new Ford Bronco. Visit Wind Creek, Wetumpka to find out how and to find your winning moment. Get it, Robert?
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk.
Hey, man.
Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, What do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Hi, everybody. We'll be doing lots of radar watching this weekend, and our weather app will keep you on top of where the storms are and where they're moving. Not every town will get one, but some will put on quite a show. With some gusty winds and a lot of prolific lightning as well. Otherwise, the humidity is locked in, and so is the heat. Low temperature tonight in the mid-70s. Will be in the upper 90s on Saturday and Sunday, but maybe a little relief from the heat and humidity by about the 1st of next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Soon we'll be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. During our big moving sale, get a great deal on a Kubota with 0% APR up to 84 months with approved credit. Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor in Montgomery or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. What?
He's a picking. I'm a grinning.
You're grinning?
You're a picking.
Yeah, I was picking on that.
Pretty good.
There's some good hoedown music. Speaking of hoedown, she just got off the stage.
Yeah, she did. No, pearl necklace. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just, at this point, it's like saying Kamala's name wrong. Like, how dare you pronounce it like Vince McMahon doing a WrestleMania promo? Kamala!
So that's all you got. I mean, that's all you got is I pronounced her name wrong.
So it's like, you pronounce her name wrong. Would you like to see disrespectful?
Yeah.
Right.
What if I called her a fugly she lizard? What would you say?
Right.
And what if the whole point is we don't respect you?
Yeah.
And it's not on account of anything you accuse us of. It's that you're fake ass puppets and you're power hungry blowhards. And you will use whatever in the world, especially twisting people's compassion, in order to take over and control things and bring about, kingdom of God here on earth, whatever you want to define that as. Like, because that's how they seem to operate. Like, give us the power and everything will be fine. And I just...
But here's the thing. They got all the power now. Things are not fine.
No.
They're not fine at all.
No.
These no fine.
Yeah.
Well, life's pretty good in spite of all they've done. But we're right on the razor's edge. Constantly.
It's pretty good, yes. But look how much harder you, me, and most people are having to work just to keep their head afloat.
Yep.
Yes.
And like you said, we're right on the edge.
Look at countries like Argentina. Like, they really were one of the most prosperous countries in the world. And then until Malay has come along as a sort of libertarian savior, it was miserable.
Yeah.
And so it can happen in a generation.
Oh, certainly.
The wrong leaders get in charge. The wrong ruling class takes the reins.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is. The drive to save humanity is almost always a false front to rule over them. Keep that in mind as you're voting and putting your hopes in any of these politicians this November. Let's go to Pike County Sam. Hey, Sam.
What up, Sammy?
Oh, gentlemen. Uh-oh. Hang on. Thank you for taking my call and being patient.
Yeah.
I'm having a pretty good day down here in the heat.
That's good to hear.
Hey.
It is hot.
Yeah. Craig, earlier when you were mentioning that about the DMT, I thought I'd chime in real quick on that a bit. I saw a while back where there was the research now, traditionally let's say you go down to Brazil, or I know there's people here stateside administering doses and monitoring what's happening to you. But if you go down to Brazil, it's still, I think they can stretch it out, but it's really about a 4-hour thing that they, you go up and down over several days. But there's research now being done here where they stretch it out for literally you will be under the influence 4 days. They say you have a time to explore the place that you're in when you the creatures that you interact with and whatnot, and all that's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Point of it is, I'm looking for someone. I was thinking Joey Clark, someone to go with me, because the DMT is on my list, and I need someone to watch me, make sure that I have Coca-Cola and cigarettes right there ready, and he's someone I trust. He really is. In fact, I'm thinking about making Joey my personal radio host, but there's a lot involved with that, and I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time.
Are you a good trip sitter, Joey?
Oh yeah.
Jesus is one thing, but a real radio host, that's a lot of responsibility there.
Would be.
Yeah, okay. Listen, man, that's all I got. But I saw that about the DMT.
I disavow that last thing you said.
The research is being done to stretch it out so people can explore. Pardon?
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate it. I just don't need a John Lennon moment here on these airwaves, all right?
Oh.
I had to break you up. Joey, you've had a really good week, bro. Thank y'all.
See you, homie.
I'm glad you think so. I'm glad others think so.
It's far too early in the morning for amphetamine.
This rage. The rage is so real with this stuff.
Have you tried running?
Running?
Isn't there like a runner's high or something?
No, I hate running. No, after I get done with the sauna workout, I feel great. Listen to music, go get some breakfast.
Maybe you need to end your day with the sauna workout day.
No, just start your day in the sauna, and then in the middle of the day, go to the gym, and that way you're spreading the high throughout the day.
That's an idea.
Can we get dumbbells here in the studio?
There's a couple of them in the other room.
Let's get physical.
Physical.
Now that, in the 80s, when that song came out, it changed a lot of people's opinions of Olivia Newton-John.
Do you guys remember, by the way?
Grease didn't already do that?
No, her on the treadmill.
Like the moral of Grease is if you want to be cool, become a hoe.
That wasn't the moral of Grease.
Wholesome Sandy. And then all of a sudden she's like, "What's up, stud?" At the end, I'm like,
"Oh my God, it's Grease Light."
That was the best.
Yeah, teaching all sorts of kids as she comes out in that skin tight, like how to hand drive, baby.
Yeah, Grease has way too many double entendres for my taste.
Actually, it's a good musical. I'll give it that.
It's a good musical, but it's hypersexual. I
It
didn't
is.
realize
Yeah.
that until I watched it as an older gentleman. I was like, my God.
Right.
Go back and look at old cartoons you used to watch.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, I'll tell you, the worst one was Fast Times at Richmond High.
Ooh.
Like, I remember seeing that as a teenager and thinking, oh, this is a good, wholesome movie.
No.
I'll never think of that Jackson Brown song the same way.
No, right. The Dugout? That's
Yeah.
like illegal.
Yep.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
Even in Alabama, that's illegal.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Oh,
But
man.
that's one of the movies I always thought they would do a remake of, because they go back and try to do remakes of really good movies. I'm kind of glad they hadn't with that one.
Yeah.
It's a classic. I do enjoy that movie.
Spicoli would be like a transgender.
Right.
you
They
know,
would
Puerto Rican.
ruin it 9 Ways to Sunday.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
Mr. Hand.
Those guys are...
And what's another movie in that? The more 90s one would be Dazed and Confused.
That was a good one.
Dude,
It's been a while since I've seen that, so I don't
That's a
even
good
want
one.
to pass judgment on it.
I think
it's been forever.
Matthew McConaughey, I think that's like when he made his debut. They
Yeah.
literally found him at a bar
Yeah.
while they were partying making the movie. They're like, hey, that dude's cool. Let's put him in the movie.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He is pretty cool. Though.
Yeah,
he is.
apparently he doesn't wear deodorant though, and he smells horrible.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard his. I've heard
smells
some crazy
really bad.
stories about him. Him and Woody Harrelson both kind of just natural freaks.
Do you know Joey Diaz, the comedian?
Love him.
You need to
Love him.
hear him tell the story about Ralphie May. So Ralphie May's dead, so he can't tell the story. But Joey Diaz tells a story about Ralphie May, who lived close to Matthew McConaughey, and he would torture him. As far as like he'd be
Really?
working on his cars, and it was like an apartment area, and he'd be down there, so he couldn't tell where it was coming from, and he would just be roasting him from the roof, and he would get so mad because he couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
That's hysterical.
It's a hilarious story.
When Joey Diaz is on, like, man, he's one of the funniest human beings.
He's
alive.
unbeatable. When he's like really holding court, like get out of the way.
Well, because you can tell so much of it is coming from a real play.
Oh yeah, he's just
Like-
recounting stories of things he's done, and it's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it. That's who Sam needs as a trip sitter is Joey
Oh,
Diaz.
like I'm thinking of a story of where it was Ari Shaffir dosed Burt Kreischer with MDMA.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, not cool.
Not cool at all.
At home with the family around.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? And Joey Diaz is there at that party. Joey Diaz popped like twice of what he was
Yeah,
dosed with.
so
He
we're
goes,
doing it together,
We're
baby.
going to see the devil tonight. All right.
Yeah.
And like,
We're riding together.
There's so many stories of
He's a good
comics
friend, yeah.
who he'll give him like gummies before like
Yeah.
a plane ride. And he apparently has a legendary tolerance.
Yes.
But they'll be on the plane having like this close to a psychological breakdown.
well, he kind of does, but he said there was one gummy he took. He woke up and he takes his CPAP off, and he's got M&M.
Yeah.
in the corners of his face. It's stuck in the CPAP machine. So I don't know if it's that good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they're ready to help you fellas out.
Yeah, they are.
Especially if you're feeling a lack of motivation, like physically, mentally, lack of energy. You're just always tired, no drive really in
Brain
life,
fog going on.
including a decrease in that sex drive. Like you're never in the mood.
Right.
You're seeing unwanted weight gain, and it's not like you're eating more. You didn't change your eating habits. You're losing muscle mass. Well, it could be low testosterone. And knowing whether or not you have low T is huge in combating these issues. And the providers there at Montgomery Men's Health can conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments there that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. Great brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido, which is just a fancy Latin word for you're going to want to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your updated market report. Through 7 months of 2024, over 2,900 homes have sold and closed in the River region. The average price was $260,000, and 60% of these homes sold in 60 days or less. Since mortgage rates have dropped over a point, buyers can save thousands of dollars in payments of what it would have been just 8 weeks ago. The supply of homes has increased, giving buyers more choices than they've had all year. To identify your next home, focus on what's important to you as features that will make the move worthwhile. By getting pre-approved with a local lender, hiring the best home inspector, and most importantly, hiring an experienced buyer agent will make it all go smoothly. For a list of 17 essential buyer agent services and a list of the best lenders and local inspectors, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
At Guardian Credit Union, we believe that banking should be personal, just like the relationships we build with members. Imagine a place where you're not just a credit score, but a valued part of our community. At Guardian, our dedicated team takes the time to listen, understand, and tailor financial solutions that fit your unique needs. From buying a car to saving for college and even starting a small business, we've got you covered. Come experience the Guardian difference and let's achieve your financial goals together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the River region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. It's News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just riding down I-10 right now. I had a little lady call, said she needed one room of carpet in Steenhatchee, Florida. So I said, I'm on my way.
There you go.
Right.
Just immediate.
I'm lying. We're actually going scalloping. We're going scalloping tomorrow.
What's the limit? Are you still allowed like a gallon of scallops?
It's 5 gallons.
Is it 5 gallons per person? That's good.
No boat. 5 gallons per boat.
Yeah, per boat.
So
Okay.
Angie, myself, and Sailor are coming. And if this is the last time I speak to you guys, it's because Angie saw a shark, and she believes it stabbed your buddy and swim.
Smart, very smart.
I like scallops.
Yeah,
They are tasty. We ought to go on a scalloping trip.
They are very tasty.
Blast.
But they're even better to catch. Joey, have you ever been scalloping?
No, I've never been scalloping.
It's a bucket list thing. It's
Yeah.
the weirdest little thing. We do it every year. Ever since we started it, we're like, okay, yeah, we're in.
And when you
It's nothing
find
like
your,
swimming
when you
in-
find your first one, you can't believe you're going to get 5 gallons worth of these. I mean, they're just little tinies.
Yes,
But
yes, absolutely. But it is an absolute ball. And, we'll be back Sunday morning at some point in time and back at the showroom. But we are open tomorrow 9 to 1. I've gotten all those incredible deals from that truckload sale at the mall. So if you're looking for a floor, swing by this afternoon or tomorrow. They'll come out or just call them. They'll come out and get a free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down just that easy.
Really is that easy, folks. 285-8117. Again, that's the number. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, have a great day.
You too. Have a good time, Ray.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun trip there.
I've cooked a mess out of some scallops.
Now, apparently, Trump people are sharing this little thing. It's a clip of Kamala's speech that happened as we were doing the show.
A loaf of bread cost 50% more today than it did before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Ground beef is up almost 50%.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
There you go.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing just in real time, that was weak. I mean, we'll see. We'll see where the politics goes. But
Do you remember what happened when they gave incentives to buy electric cars, like 15 grand? All electric
Yeah,
cars went up
right.
by 15 grand.
Right.
Yep.
It's just stupid.
And even something I think is pretty bipartisan, expanded child care tax credit. I still got a feeling that isn't going to address the underlying
Right.
reasons child care is so daggum much.
It's not. In fact, they'll give you a tax credit, which again will just guarantee child care will continue to be expensive. I mean, it's
Well, that's because you're creating an occupation that requires a full-time salary in order so you can go and your wife can go and earn a full-time salary. It's
and
it
a lot
doesn't
of
make
times it's a
sense.
wash.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we've got to, but that's where we are in this country.
Yep.
We give out crutches and give out Band-Aids and we don't
No
address
more
the
crutches.
underlying issue.
And then set out bear traps.
Especially like that guy tripping people and making them break their legs and fall.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I wasn't accusing you, but
Did I trip
Is that
someone?
your new kind of thing you've been doing, Craig?
wait, have you been throwing a stick in the wheel of like cyclists coming down the hill?
No, but I should. Cyclists.
You have given him an idea.
Cyclists are the devil.
See, you have given him an idea.
They're always old and they're wearing like spandex.
They're
when
always
they
so
shouldn't.
angry. They're so angry.
And they're like, "Ah, shout the road."
Right,
No.
shout the road.
No.
You're like that Joey guy on the radio. Why are you so angry?
Get an elliptical and stop being such a queer on the road when you're tight shirt. The ones that they're like, it'll be blazing hot, sun shining, and they'll have like a flashing light on the back of their helmet. It's like, I saw you. You're dressed like a golfer. No, like, nobody's missing you.
Oh, and William Shatner's promoting his new show, Aliens Among
Dude,
Us.
he looks great for being as old as he is. I think he's in his late 80s. Look at him.
Actually, he does look great.
Yeah,
Looks great,
What
man.
money can do these days. And he doesn't look fake. He doesn't look stretched
No,
out.
not at all.
He still looks kind of, he's a handsome old
Yeah,
man.
He really is.
By the way, I love how Star Trek was the future, the progressive future, and it's still like all the womanizing in that show. Like he's sleeping with every alien on every planet.
Have you met Kirk? Captain Kirk was the man.
Oh, no.
International lover.
Reminds me of a Prince song. Hey, we're going to get out of here. Happy Hour with Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A U.S. official says mediators are preparing to implement a Gaza ceasefire and hostage swap deal to end the Hamas war before a final agreement is set. The official spoke to reporters on